This is a mysterious museum holding the origins of all things. Every item inside is the very first thing born when the world began. The real Pangu axe, the original Taiji diagram. Even in the future, that mysterious stone that will trigger the journey to the West catastrophe is also quietly displayed here right now. Looks like a huge gift from the heavens. But the moment I got it, I realized the price was way heavier than I thought. The system wants me to recreate the world and build countless realms to finish the task. But there's no choice. No matter how tough the task is, I have to go for it. So how powerful are these items in the museum? The day Gong Gong crashed into Buzhou Mountain, 6 great sages witnessed it for me. The sky pillar broke. The 4 corners collapsed. Heaven had already decided to chop off my apprentice Xuan Gui's limbs, to hold up the world. As Yuanshi Tianzun was about to take his life, I had no choice but to bring out the 4 primordial remains, including the ancestor dragon, and set them before the sages. Laozi, Nuwa, and Jian's faces all changed. I just smiled and spoke. Heavenly merit should be shared by everyone. Looking at the 6 sages before me, I said softly, "Why are these remains here with me?" I guess that's not really the main point now. Since you want to use my apprentice's limbs to hold up the 4 seasons, and since they're all from the same primordial source, I figure their bodies can do the same job. What do you think? Yuanshi Tianzun's face immediately showed some hesitation. He wasn't worried about holding up the seasons. Everyone knows.
In power or status.
Bahai Zhuangui is way less than the 4 items I brought out. What he really cares about is the merit he was about to get from heaven. Now might go to someone else. I saw what he was thinking and smiled a bit. Of course, changing the rules of heaven so suddenly is a huge cause and effect. Even as sages, we're not afraid of karma and reincarnation. But since this concerns the laws of heaven, it's clearly not for me alone to decide. I want to invite the 6 sages to join me in this great feat. Would you all agree? As I spoke, the 4 items floating before me spread out, landing in the hands of Laozi, Jian, and Nuwa. Besides Nuwa and Yuanshi Tianzun, the other sages showed some excitement. Original plan by heaven. Yuanshi would get all the merit alone. Now it could be shared. That's a pleasant surprise. 7 sages together acted. Even heaven couldn't stop it.
Plus,
these 4 things are much better than Zhuan Gui's body. The merit from heaven will far exceed expectations. If the primordial system stays intact, and future disasters are delayed, maybe there'll even be some cosmic merit to gain. Jian nodded first. Since you already put it like that, Luohu demon ancestor happens to be connected to our Western religion. I'll help you support the land of Ziki. He then summoned the 12-rank Lotus platform and led the corpse of Luohu demon ancestor, flying west. Laozi glanced at the 2 beside him and called out loudly, "All right, brothers, let's not waste this opportunity from our friend. Heaven is overturned. The cosmos will fill the gap. This might just be our fate." Before the 2 answered, Laozi showed the Taiji diagram, put the Kilin ancestors' remains away, and was first to fly north. Yuanshi and Tongshan looked at each other. Seems they got the hint from their brother's words. They cupped their hands to me and chased after him. They obviously saw I was a bit biased in sharing. Western religion gets 1 share. 3 pure ones get 1 share. Nuwa gets 1 share by herself. If they had to haggle with Nuwa, as leaders of a sect, that's just embarrassing. I watched Tongshan leave and couldn't help sighing. Hey, since you're the leader of G sect, I was gonna let you team up with Nuwa. Looks like I'll have to finish the East myself. In the end, I looked at the origin tree in my arms and turned to Nuwa. By my original plan, I wanted Nuwa and Tongshan to work together for the East Pole. Maybe give them an origin spirit tree to protect humans. But Tongshan's gone now, so I need to do it myself. After thinking for a bit, I waved and brought Taitsu ancestors' remains to Nuwa. After you finish this great feat, I have something I'd like to ask your help with. Would you mind? Looking for my help? Nuwa looked confused. I knew what she was thinking.
ever since I appeared,
The 6 sages felt I might be the strongest. Otherwise, with Yuanshi Tianzun's pride, he wouldn't accept my arrangements so easily. But what I'm thinking is simple. to create a world. There's still one more crucial thing to do. After a brief silence, I said sincerely, "So, after we each hold up the southeast poles, can you teach me how to make people?" Nua looked puzzled at the idea of making people. After all, she had no idea what humans are. But as a sage, she figured it wouldn't be too hard. She hesitated, then nodded. "Sure, just come find me then." Nua summoned the Zhuanshan fire phoenix, turned into light, and flew to the hardest place in the primordial world. Watching her leave, I smiled. With Nua as the ancestor of humans, learning to make people should be easy. Once I learn how, I can recreate the world. And it'll be much simpler. At least in my lost life, I heard. That guy Jehovah only took 7 days to create the world. Thinking that, I swung my sleeve, took Beihai Zhuangui, stepped on cloud, and flew toward the far east of the continent. That place will someday give birth to a people called the descendants of the dragon. A great nation. I was one of them in my previous life, and had special feelings for that land. Soon after, we arrived above a vast river. Looking at the swirling yellow silt in the water, I felt a bit moved, and muttered, "Looks like this is the famous Yellow River region. This will be the birthplace of the Waxia people. Planting the origin tree here is just right." Sean Gui and I landed by the Yellow River, touches with a finger. A sapling shoots from my hand, slowly lands on the Yellow River, right on the most fertile land. In the next moment, the sapling seems infused with some mysterious power.
It grows crazily, swelling up.
In the blink of an eye, it's turned into a giant tree tens of thousands of feet wide. I say to Zhuangui, this origin tree of mine is actually the embodiment of a world. The Wild Era Museum let me create countless new worlds. Each seed for a world is an origin tree. Zhuangui from the North Sea is totally amazed. "Master, why not use the corpse of the ancestral dragon? The dragon's aura and its mighty body would be the perfect pillar to support the sky." I just smiled. I didn't explain my feelings for this land. Born creatures like Zhuangui can't understand. I only spent decades on this land in my past life. Can't even compare to a nap Zhuangui takes. Plus, all the civilization's history here has only lasted tens of thousands of years. To wild era beings, it's barely a moment. But that's exactly where humanity's greatness lies. Such short lifespans, tiny bodies, yet always pushing forward, bravely exploring new ground, even with fear and darkness at times. They never stop moving. No matter what enemies or challenges ahead, someone always leads the way. Someone stands up when everyone else hesitates, takes on the responsibility. Snakes and beasts never scared humans. Quakes and tsunamis don't stop their steps. Disease can't take away their bonds. Monsters used to run wild. One bite could swallow a city's population. But in the end, humans wiped them out. The Wu tribe once, under the great leader Qi Yu, fought humans for the world. Humans got crushed and rooted. But Qi Yu only ruled for a while. In the end, humans won. Heaven moves steadfastly. The noble strive constantly. That's the spiritual backbone of humanity here. Innate beings, born divine, long-lived. They live eons but hardly have any civilization. Yet, it's those short-lived ancestors who create endless possibilities in limited time. That brilliant culture is deep in every child's soul, even far from home. Even becoming Buddha or ancestor elsewhere, even a sage of heaven like me, the root is always here. That's why I use the origin tree to be the eastern pillar holding up the sky, because this is always my home. The giant origin tree grows a huge canopy. Its shade covers the earth. Spiritual energy pours out non-stop. The land bursts into bloom instantly. Dead trees come alive. Zhuan Gui exclaimed, "Master, this origin tree can even change the land's spiritual energy. The quality and density here is easily twice the other places." "Master, you're honestly so bold. Such a lavish transformation of the East might stir jealousy from the other three sides. When that happens, creatures from the other sides may all flock over to the East, fighting for territory here. Though having more creatures is good, if they're always fighting. Master, your intentions might go wasted." I think he makes a good point. The issue isn't being few, but being unequal. Jealousy is in creatures' nature. If the East becomes hated by all three sides, that's not good. Disciple, got any ideas? Master, maybe spread the energy to the other 3 continents. Let the other 3 also benefit from the origin tree. That way, farther places won't gain as much. But at least creatures elsewhere won't hate the East too much. You're right. So the East will actually become a sacred place in their hearts. Among all creatures elsewhere, just like Buzhou Mountain's status in the Wild Age. Master, your origin tree technique really created another Buzhou Mountain. Xuan Gui stomped his leg hard. The ground shook with his stomp. My origin tree is nowhere near Buzhou Mountain. Buzhou is the sky pillar. My origin tree is just a quarter of that at best. And besides, Buzhou Mountain isn't just the sky pillar. It's also Pangu's spine. Panyu is the great god who opened the sky. How could a little world seed compare? World seed. Kobe Zhuan Gui didn't say it out loud, but was grumbling inside. Master has way too many world seeds. Forgets their true value. One world seed can grow a complete world. And creating a world earns the sky-opening merit. Northern lands. Laozi, Yuanxi, Tongshen, 3 brothers, turned the ancestor of the Qilin into the sky pillar. Each took one part, called heavenly merit. Yuanxi Qianzun wasn't satisfied. Using the Qilin ancestor as the sky pillar brought much more merit than Zhuan Gui's did. But originally all the merit was his, now split into 7. The 3 brothers took a quarter. Yuanxi Tianzun only got a 12th. No matter how big and tasty the cake, his portion is still too tiny. Senior and junior brothers, the merit you received actually belonged to me. You owe me a karmic debt. This random sage out of nowhere showed up and snatched my chance. Spread my merit among you guys like flowers. Looks like everyone benefited. But really, he alone got a quarter of the merit. And his distribution is uneven. On purpose. So 3 people split 1 share. Zhangti and Jian got 1 share. Nua got a whole share herself. Pretty obvious. St. Chenwen is splitting us 6. Making sure we clash? Laozi fell into deep thought after hearing this. Junia's got a good point. But big brother, I don't owe you any karma. That karma went to Chenwen Sage. And he shared it out to the 6 of us. Tongshen waved his sword of immortal slaughter. Big brother Laozi is right. Yuanxi, my brother, your karma lies with Chenwen. Chenwen stole your heavenly opportunity. You should go ask Chenwen for it. As for the merit Laozi and I got, it was actually given by Chenwen Sage. We owe Chenwen karma now. Laozi and Tongshen both know. Yuanxi was just saying they owed him karma, trying to urge them to team up against me. All 3 were born and cultivated together. All became saints as brothers, who doesn't know each other's tricks. Even though Yuanxi is their brother, they have karma owing. If they don't repay that debt, instead they teamed up with the primal one against me. So this karma can't be cut anymore. Karma is a huge deal for a sage. Sages avoid karma. That's because their status is high. Heaven opens up a special path for them. But if 2 people on that path get tangled up in karma, sages have to pay it back. Laozi and Tongshen both owe me this karma. Why would they agree to help the primal one against me? Senior and junior brothers, since you don't want to help me deal with him, at least help with something else, right? Yuanxi Tianzun said slyly. Laozi and Tongshen understand what's going on. How could he not know? He's just playing push and pull on purpose. So the brothers will accept his next request. Laozi and Tongshen exchanged a glance. They both felt tricked by Yuanxi. Laozi laughed freely. Junior brother, you've really improved. I didn't even catch on you were playing reverse psychology. Just waited for me to fall into your trap. This time I lost. I admit defeat. As long as it's not too much. Just say what you need, junior brother. Tongshen was a bit annoyed. He's always been straightforward. Yuanxi, senior brother, you're even more scheming than Laozi. Always calculating. Yuanxi Tianzun just smiled. There are 6 sages. But the position of Sage of Heaven belongs to only 1. If I don't make plans, how can I compete for that spot? What do you say, junior brother? Tongshen snorted. He swung his Juxian sword. Sword aura shone bright. I have 4 Juxian swords, and the Juxian sword formation. Unless all 5 sages work together, you can't break my Juxian formation. Why do I need to scheme? As long as my cultivation is strong enough, no trick or plot can withstand my sword. Junior brother, Now there are 7 sages. That Juxian formation may not be as reliable. Laozi nodded. This composed sage has unfathomable power. I can't see through his abilities at all. He raised his hand and took out 4 treasures. Using the bodies of the ancestral dragon and ancestral phoenix, ancestral Qilin and the corpse of Luohu as pillars, just to save his turtle disciple. Letting you, junior brother, cut off its 4 limbs. Such a big move. Shows he has tons of treasures. He doesn't care at all about the strength of these ancient beings' bodies. Both ancestral dragon and phoenix could have become sages. If not for fate and calamity, they wouldn't have fallen. As for Luohu, he's the primal demon of the world, strong enough to challenge Hongjun. Even if they died, their bodies are top-tier treasures.
If held by sages like us?
We could refine them as avatars. Tongshan picked it up. With these 4 avatars strong as sages, you could fight 4 or even 5 sages at once, Laozi said, but Chen Wen, the sage, managed to summon 4 avatars at once, meaning his strength can handle at least 4 sages alone. Laozi thought to himself, if I go all out, and Tongshan doesn't use his Juxian formation, I might take on 2 sages, which means Chen Wen is at least twice as strong as me. Laozi gasped. He's the strongest among the 6 sages, yet can only handle 2 sages. Chen Wen can fight at least 4. Has he already reached the level of the heavenly sage? Yuanshi Tianzun felt heavy too. Do I really have to face such a powerful opponent? Only Tongshan showed no fear.
His Juxian formation
Is the deadliest in the world. Even if Chen Wen can fight 4 or 5 sages, it'll be a tie at best. Yuanshi Tianzun glanced at Tongshan, thinking about how to pull him aboard, have him help out as muscle. Laozi got back to the main topic. Yuanshi, junior brother, you want my help. But what do you want me to do? Yuanshi saw Laozi ask again, and shared his thoughts. This fallen sage appeared out of the blue, probably because something happened to heaven. Anytime a sage ascends, heaven reacts. When someone reaches sagehood, all beings in the world know. Senior brother, when you became a sage, merit descended. Gold light surged from the earth. Everyone heard the news of you becoming a sage. All 6 of us sages were officially recognized by heaven. Only Chen Wen appeared out of nowhere. Laozi and Tongshan heard this, suddenly realizing, right, Chen Wen wasn't recognized by heaven. How did he become a sage? And he's so powerful. When facing him, none of them feel like resisting. So what do you mean, junior brother? Yuanshi Tianzun made a formal gesture. Senior and junior brothers, I'd like you both to visit the 33rd layer of the outer heavens. Since Hongjun achieved the Tao, he's been guarding the 33rd layer. Please find Zixao Palace there and ask Hongjun what's really happening. This Chen Wen sage, how did he become a sage without heaven's recognition? Is there another way to reach sagehood? Back then, Hongjun taught about 3,000 ways. 3 methods of becoming a sage, Tao through power. Pan Yu took that path, relying on heaven-opening merit and the Pangu axe. He still failed. Shows just how tough that road is. Second, cutting 3 parts of the self. Hongjun used this method, cutting the good, evil, and personal selves. Each cut requires a top-tier treasure. Most of Zixao Palace's guests took that path. Zhen Yuanzi, Ming He, and the founder succeeded. But if you haven't cut all 3, you're just a quasi-sage. Laozi already cut out the good self and became Taisheng Laojun.
3rd is merit-based sagehood.
Easiest of the 3, but weakest in power. Laozi started the Renjiao, Yuanshi started the Chanjiao, Tongshan started the Ji sect. Zhang Tianjian created the Western teachings. Nuo created humans and gained merit. These 6 merit-based sages mostly became sages through the fortune of humanity and are tied to mankind. Simply put, merit-based sages are heaven's enforcers. If you follow heaven's will and protect mankind, heaven loans you power, and merits descend, letting you become a sage right away. Merit is basically heaven's point system. Once you earn enough points, heaven gives you a sage title. Later, the investiture of gods in the killing tribulation, life and death battles between Chan and Ji sects, all ended up on the investiture of the gods list. Their true spirits bound to heaven. Basically same as becoming a saint through merit. They're just officials in the system. Since they're officials, your actual strength doesn't really matter. Your level is granted by heaven, protected by the rules, proving Tao through power. No one has succeeded yet. Only Hong Zhong became a saint by cutting off 3 corpses. 6 became saints through merit. Hong Zhong's method lets him match heaven. Merit-made saints are just heaven's enforcers? That's the difference. Chen Wen's sainthood didn't cause any heavenly anomaly. Could he not be a merit saint? But one who proved Tao by power or cut off 3 corpses. Tongshan blurted out, Laozi was wrong. Chen Wen isn't a merit saint. That's certain. Chen Wen isn't a merit saint. That's for sure. His fighting power is way too high. All of us standing before him can feel it. He's way stronger than any of us. If he were a merit saint, even if he's stronger, he wouldn't be this much stronger. I showed my power too, but I still don't think I can beat Chen Wen. Yuanxi frowned. Now that the Dragon Phoenix Calamity and the Sorcerer Demon Calamity are over, humans have officially become the main players. Even if Chen Wen wanted to become a merit saint, he has no chance anymore. The merit for humans was basically divided among us 6. What's left isn't enough for a 7th merit saint position. If Chen Wen proves his Tao through brute force,
He'd have to break heaven's rules.
once sainted, he'd be stronger than the heavenly saints. That's just impossible. The most likely guess. Chen Wen became a saint by cutting 3 corpses, same level as Master Hongzheng. Laozi and Tongshan fell silent. A 3-corpse saint has 3 saint-level clones. Each is way stronger than a merit saint. No wonder I never took them seriously. Yuanxi gritted his teeth. Maybe what we saw is the evil side of the fallen saint. Looking at his actions, he's carefree. Doesn't follow etiquette. Doesn't obey rules. Sharp and ruthless. Stirs things up. He does all this effortlessly. Tongshan commented lightly. Maybe 3-corpse saints don't even care about us. Don't bother scheming against us. Chen Wen probably didn't think that much about it. That shut Yuanxi up. Laozi sighed. Back then, Hongzheng used the 3-master method to become saint, casting it across the world. Anyone fated could come to the Zixao Palace. It took countless years to pass. Master Hongzheng merged with heaven, became a heavenly saint. Who knows when Chen Wen achieved sainthood, or how far he's come. Maybe he just succeeded in cutting 3 corpses, or he's already become a heavenly saint like Hongzheng. Yuanxi jumped up. No way. Absolutely impossible. Yuanxi couldn't keep calm. He kept talking. If Chen Wen already became a heavenly saint, why would he still fight me for this little bit?
Tiny merit.
He already merged with Tao. Why compete with us merit saints? I think he just cut off 3 corpses, that's all. Laozi comforted him. Brother, with such a calm heart, how could you cut 3 corpses? Just relax. My claim that he became a saint by cutting 3 corpses is just speculation. But your earlier guess seemed steady. Maybe you've discovered another sainthood method. I really agree with that. Yuanxi was confused. You mean? Laozi slightly smiled. Back then, Zixao Gong, Herd Master Hongzheng, taught us 3 ways to achieve sainthood. But is there really only 3 methods? That's just what Master Hongzheng said. That might be a bit disrespectful. But everyone pretended not to notice. Tongshan's heart stirred. If we could ask Saint Chen Wen about other ways to become a saint, maybe that's our chance to break through. Laozi nodded approvingly. Tongshan's idea is good. Before we figure this out, we absolutely can't let Master Hongzheng know. If he finds out, we 3 won't have any chance. Yuanxi got anxious. Didn't expect Laozi not only doesn't want to see Hongzheng, but wants to keep it from him. Yuanxi hurried and said, Brother, you mean to switch allegiance and follow this mysterious Chen Wen? That's not too smart. Laozi chuckled. Not at all. Before things are clear, we'll just observe. Laozi kept comforting Yuanxi. Brother Yuanxi, the arrival of Saint Chen Wen means more choices for us, but doesn't mean we oppose Master. Learn from others. Borrow their experience. I borrow others' experience. That's how we rise higher. Even if Chen Wen didn't use another method and became a 3-corpse saint, as the second 3-corpse saint, Saint Chen Wen still has things we can explore. Brother Yuanxi, you can't let short-term gains blind you. Don't return empty-handed from a treasure mountain. Tongshan also advised. Brother Yuanxi, the seventh saint appeared. The world's balance has shifted. Even the heavenly secrets have quietly changed. Things that were supposed to happen under the Tao are now just chaos. Can't see through it. All this proves how impactful the fallen saint is. Shows his importance. We must be careful. We have to keep pace with the times. Grab opportunities. Otherwise, even as saints, heaven could abandon us someday. Yuanxi saw both brothers had this attitude. Had to suppress his hostility. Okay, brother Laozi. Tongshan makes sense. I lost rationality for a bit over gains. Couldn't stay calm. Laozi and Tongshan exchanged looks. Both were worried. Master Dongfeng, isn't that the stone used by Goddess Nuwa to mend the sky? Why is it here? Xuangui and I flew in the sky, enjoying the scenery. I looked closely. It's really the mending stone. This stone has 7 holes. It's beautifully crafted. So this might be a lie in the East Victory continent? I suddenly remembered that rebellious monkey from later years. Xuangui looked around. Praised, Master. This is a great place. This mountain sits by the East Sea, ancestral vein of the 10 continents, the dragon source of the 3 isles, set since the world's creation, formed after the primordial chaos. A poem says its power curbs the ocean. Its might calms the Jasper Sea. Power curbs the ocean. Tides surge like silver peaks as fish dive. Might calms the Jasper Sea. Waves churn like snow as ospreys fly. I looked at this sky-mending stone, finding it truly holds heaven's grace, absorbing the essence of sun and moon. It's that monkey, without a doubt. Follow me for a look. I led Black Tortoise through the hills. Gonggong has toppled Mount Buzhou. Soon after, the sky tilted, and this vein was ruined. Rocks tumbled everywhere. Rivers flowed backward. Birds and beasts fled in panic, suffering heavy casualties. There wasn't a single monkey in sight, but many East Sea tribes were here. A giant whale took a demi-human form, leading his kin to seek refuge. When I appeared, my saintly pressure made them tremble, unable to move an inch. Why are you sea creatures in the hills? Is the water no longer livable? The whale knelt and spoke to me. We are tribes of the East Sea. Due to the great upheaval, the rivers and seas were upturned. The East Sea suffered a catastrophe. Many were killed by waves and currents. The tides now rise 10,000 feet. We truly could not stay there. Tortoise asked, Isn't the sea theirs? Where is the East Sea Dragon King? Why didn't he save you, great immortal? The Dragon Palace is only so big. He can only protect his own clan. He has no time for strays like us. So you couldn't stay in the water, and came here to claim the mountain, to rule over this peak, and kill all the monkeys here? I questioned the whale. There are no monkeys here. You are mistaken, great immortal. We only came here for refuge. When the East Sea calms down, we will naturally return to the sea. Besides, we are sea creatures. Even if we wanted to rule the mountain, we couldn't stay for long. The giant whale cried out his innocence. I cast a spell, creating a mirror, to replay what happened here. In the recent past, it was just as the whale said. They ate some spirits and monsters, but there really were no monkeys. Strange, the stone fell here. So this should be Flower Fruit Mountain. Why are there no monkeys? Did they move here later on? Disciple, go find some monkeys. Since we have new-ass stone, how can we not have monkeys? Will you make this your cave, Master? Tortoise asked, Do you like monkeys? Will you keep them as pets here? A thought struck me again. My divine gaze swept the mountain. Indeed, there was no water curtain cave. It seems the cave came later too. Since nothing is here, I might as well create it myself. With a single thought and a wave of my hand, I made a cave behind the waterfall, labeled Flower Fruit Mountain Water Curtain Cave. The moment it was created, my heart skipped a beat. Through the sense of karma, a bond formed between me and the stone. This is a fated meeting. The mountain is named by me. There were no monkeys here before, but now they will live here forever. I even created the water curtain cave. Through all these karmic ties, the stone monkey is now linked to me. Meanwhile, Shanti sensed a shift. Something of his had been severed. He tried to divine the cause, but he could find nothing. Only a saint can hide from a saint. Only another Said's interference would leave Zhenti in such chaos. Zhenti's path was left in chaos. I never imagined a few impulsive actions would sever the bond between the monkey and Zhenti. Water Curtain Cave. Master, that's a beautiful name. Will we be living here now? Tortoise was quite excited, flying into the cave with curiosity to look around. Master, isn't this place too simple? It's just stone tables and chairs. That's because it's not for me. It's for the monkeys, I explained. The tortoise was stunned. Then, Master, where is our cave? This spot has the best feng shui and the most spiritual energy. If you give this to the monkeys, where will we stay? If you like it, you can stay right here. I have great work to do. I must learn to create humans from Nuwa. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The tortoise was jealous of monkeys. I stayed at the mountain for a while. Tortoise brought monkeys from all over. Many fruit trees were planted, mostly peach trees. These monkeys were wild animals, pure beasts of the forest, not yet the spirits of the journey, though it is an ancestral vein. It can't turn wild beasts into spirits. I didn't bother with the troops. My whim was to let them thrive. If I had to civilize beasts, I wouldn't have the patience. The plan was set. The 4 pillars were established. As I meditated for spiritual energy, the world suddenly shook, then stabilized. The rivers flowed back to the sea. The sky returned to normal. In an instant, merit fell from heaven. Golden lotuses sprang from the earth. Golden light poured into my body, forming a halo of merit. Restoring the pillars held little merit, but the pillars I built were far better than tortoise limbs, especially the eastern pillar, being the tree of origin. A treasure that can become a world. The great desolation gained. My new pillars. Even through another great cataclysm, the world would remain safe. The spiritual energy would not fade, even in the age of decline. In other words, I extended the life of the world, adding countless years. The merit of saving the world far exceeds fixing the pillars. After the first wave of merit, heaven sent down another, even thicker and stronger. It was almost solid, rushing into my body. I felt completely rejuvenated, warm all over. Every cell glowed with golden merit. Wow, Master. You're glowing so brightly. I'm going to be blinded. The merit on me shone like a sun. The entire eastern world was lit up. Everything was covered in a golden glow. The problem is, all my power comes from the system. I have almost no control over it. Even though I gained the virtue that extends heaven and earth's life, I really don't know how to hold it back. So I'm constantly radiating virtue's golden light. Wherever I go, I look like a bright sun. Back when I read novels in my past life, I did know the main characters could infuse virtue into their treasures, letting them level up into virtue spirit treasures. But I honestly don't lack any treasures. There are countless primal treasures in the Primal Museum. Even the very first postnatal virtue treasure, the Heaven-Earth Xuanhuang exquisite pagoda, is there. If I poured heavenly virtue into a spirit treasure, wouldn't that just be a waste? But since I can't suppress the virtue, I just feel really uncomfortable. My whole body feels bloated.
It's a bit satisfying, though.
But keeping this up takes way too much energy. The whole eastern land stretches for millions of miles, and it's all illuminated by me. Quick, I'm heading to the South Pole Pillar to find Nuwa now. The Zhuan turtle transformed into its gigantic true form and carried me from the East Sea to the South Pole. It's way faster in water than in the sky. Honestly, I looked super flashy all the way. Such a huge light bulb, lighting up the whole East Sea. All the sea creatures benefited from the virtue light. Some spirit species even started showing scripture patterns. After lighting up the East Sea, then the South Sea too. Upon arriving at the South Sea, I saw a giant god, millions of feet tall with a human face, standing in the sea atop a fire dragon. Most of his body was submerged. Only his head was above the water. Zhurong, Zhurong. He looked. Zhurong looked exhausted and full of sorrow. When he heard my voice, he looked up. Saint Zhurong was one of the 12 ancestor witches, so of course he recognized a saint face to face. Except the saint he'd never met before. Zhurong, didn't you die together with Gong Gong? Why are you hiding here? I don't dare to die. Heaven and earth have been eyeing my witch clan for ages. Now that Gonggong died smashing Buzhou Mountain out of rage. If I also die, then with 2 of the 12 ancestor witches gone, the demon clan will launch a huge war and attack our witchlands. But I'm too injured to recover. Can't bring myself to go back home. Didn't want the clan to mourn. So I'm just barely hanging on in the South Sea. With my saint's vision, I checked Zhurong's body. And yeah, he really is almost dead. He hit himself on purpose to give heaven a false impression and make Emperor Taiyi think he's dead. If heaven rushes to attack the witches, Zhurong might sacrifice his remains, passing all his blood to the Great Witch, instantly creating a new warrior as strong as an ancestor witch. Since a saint found me, I have a request. Go ahead, I have a daughter. Her name is Ending. I'm willing to give up my Nanming Li fire and ask you to look after her. After Zhurong finished, he took out a blue flame from within, the Nanming Li fire. It turned out to be an ice flame. This fire came from my battle with Gonggong. When water and fire met, I mastered the art of key flame. This isn't really an ice flame, but a key flame. Also a 7-colored icy blue, shaped like ice spikes. I figured it out. This Nanming Li fire burns using qi as fuel, way hotter than normal flames. It's a new invention from Zhurong, the fire god. So where's your daughter Ending? She's at the Qiufu tribe. I nodded. Disciple, head to the Qiufu clan. The Zhuan turtle nodded its giant head and started crawling down the path. The great witch of Qiufu saw the golden sun land on the ground and was heading toward our tribe. In the witch tribe, a huge burly witch warrior spoke in fear to a great witch holding a peach staff with 2 snakes. He said the sky child is on the ground and heading right for our Qiufu tribe. This is just too much. Qiufu was furious. The golden crow dares walk on the ground? That'll burn us all alive. Dares walk on the earth. It'll roast so many lives. Qiufu is Hutu's grandson, god of the underworld, also called Bofu. Jufu is huge, holding a green snake in his right hand and a yellow snake in his left. He always chases after the sun. You all go to the Huyi tribe and take shelter. Qiufu gripped his peach staff, face determined, and ran toward the golden light. That's weird. This light isn't hot at all. Feels nothing like the blazing heat of the golden crow. Qiufu got closer and closer, and found the plants touched by the golden light were lush and green everywhere, not a bit dried up. It's actually like a spring breeze. Who is it? Why are you coming here? Qiufu was unsure. He confirmed it wasn't the golden house ahead, so he shouted loudly. Though a great witch, he'd never seen a saint. Is this really Qiufu, the sun chaser? I told Zhuan Turtle to stop, and flew right up to Qiufu. I looked him up and down with interest. I actually learned the story of Qiufu chasing the sun as a kid. Qiufu chased the sun, and, after getting close, drank from the river. But the Wei River wasn't enough, so he drank from the northern marsh. He still died of thirst before making it.
He dropped his staff, which became a peach forest.
Qiufu Zhurong asked me to look after his daughter. I heard Niu Ding is with your tribe. Qiufu looked at my whole body, surrounded by virtuous gold light, and was stunned by how sacred I looked. Niu Ding? Niu Ding went to the Zhuaming tribe. I was speechless. This feels like a fetch quest. Qiufu, I grew up hearing your stories too. Now I finally get to meet you in person. How could there be no gift for our first meeting? Qiufu, is there anything you want? Ask away, I can grant you one wish. Qiufu felt a bit odd, but still politely said, I don't really want anything. My tribe lives very well, in perfect harmony. But those golden crows in the sky always ignore the rules of heaven and earth, baking the land dry. If you want to help me, could I ask for a favor? Help me run faster and jump higher so I can catch up with the golden crows. I sighed inside. That's Qiufu for you. Even when he asks for help, he wants to chase the golden crows himself, not have me do it for him. A true symbol of the Eastern spirit of self-strengthening. Really lives up to the legend. All right, Qiufu. If you want to jump higher and run faster, I'll give you a pair of shoes. All right. I took out the very first pair of shoes from the Primal Museum. They're virtue treasures, able to adjust in size. The user changes to increase foot strength. To protect the feet. Kyofu had never seen shoes before. Holding them in his hands. He didn't know how to wear them. What is this? Is it for the hands? Kyofu put his hand through the shoe, using the sole as a weapon. This weapon is so strange. How can something so soft attack enemies? I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. These are shoes. They're worn on the feet, I said, taking the shoes back, and put them on to show him. Kyofu shook his head. My tribe and I stand upon the earth. Our bodies and the earth's power are one. If I wear these shoes, I won't be able to touch the earth, and cannot gain power from it. Kyofu is of the How-To lineage. His descendants draw power from the earth. So the tribe is full of massive giants. Though the first shoes are good, they don't suit Kyofu at all. What if they were earth shoes? I took out a lump of living soil. With a flick of my finger, I turned the soil into earth shoes. The black tortoise was speechless. Living soil was used by Nuwa to fix the sky. Even Nuwa had very little left. But I used it like common roadside dirt. Kyofu didn't recognize it or its value. He put on the living soil shoes. He took a few steps, then jumped around. He was very happy. Your shoes are truly wonderful. I'll teach my tribe to make these. I, Kyofu, will. With these earth shoes, we will surely become stronger. I smiled and said nothing. These are the only ones in the world. Your tribe will only use regular mud. It won't have any special effect. From now on, you are a friend of Kyofu. Kyofu happily invited me to his tribe. The people of the Kyofu tribe were curious about my golden glow. Very soon, I bonded with these simple Wu friends, drinking wine and eating meat. It was such a joy, but the golden light was too flashy to avoid bringing trouble to the tribe. I left after staying half a day. Disciple, take Jurong's 2 fire dragons to find Nuding. It's time for me to find Nuwa. This golden light of merit is a hassle. Jurong left 2 dragons for Nuding. They help inherit some fire god power. I turned into a streak of golden light, heading for the South Pole pillar, much faster than the black tortoise. Many times faster indeed. Saints always have mounts, but mounts are slower than saints. Riding a mount every time is purely for looking cool. The disciples later learned this too. Among the 12 golden immortals, each mount was flashier than the last. Sihang rode the golden Hu. Wenshu rode the blue lion, the 6-tusked white elephant. Even Zhang Zia got a Sibuxing. Using the tortoise as a mount actually slowed me down a lot. Soon I reached the South Pole pillar. Nuwa was waiting for me there. We exchanged formal greetings, then got down to business. You want to learn to create life? To create a vassal race? Nuwa asked. History had reached the sky-fixing era. Humanity had already been created. Ancestor Ming had watched Nuwa and learned some methods from her to create the Asura race, becoming the leader of the Shura cult. As long as the blood sea remains, Ming shall never die. Because of Ming's precedent, Nuwa jumped to conclusions, thinking I wanted to create a race too. You could put it that way. What inspired you to create humans? Was it because there were only animals and no intelligent life in the world? Nuwa reminisced for a moment. My reason for creating humans was because my brother Foxy was away. I was bored one day, so I used some mud to mold a small figure of my brother. Though the figure looked real, it couldn't speak. I breathed some air onto it. The clay figure came to life, but after just a few breaths, the life force faded away. So I molded many more, but without exception, none could last even half a day. The one that lived the longest was because I was careless and forgot to give it legs. Nuwa continued. Seeing the legless one lived longest, I realized something. The figures I made before all had human heads and snake bodies. Then I understood. Only the form closest to the Tao body could survive the longest. The Tao body is the human form. It is the form of Pangu. Panyu had the merit of creation, so all beings take his form when evolving. I nodded in agreement. The Tao body is no joke. Humans stand tall in the primordial world because the Tao body learns so fast. In just a few decades, they match thousands of years of cultivation. Nuwa went on with her story. Nuwa continued. Then I followed my own image and molded a clay person. This time when I breathed on it, the clay didn't move at all. So I went back to my brother's likeness. making the whole body in the Tao form. When I breathed on it this time, the clay person fully came to life. Once they came to life, because they had my breath, they possessed innate intelligence. They sang and danced around me. They were so happy. I felt very satisfied. Seeing my handmade figures living felt like having real children. However, after dancing a while, they all went limp on the ground and turned back into mud. Why couldn't the figures in your image come to life, while those in Fuxie's image all came to life? And why did they only live a short time before turning back to mud? Nua smiled. Why don't you try it yourself? Nua took me to a lakeside. She scooped up mud from the wetland. Try molding one yourself, like making pottery. I shaped the yellow mud into a person, carving the features in my own image. I breathed onto the figure. There was no movement. Now try molding one in my image. I made a figure looking like Nua. I breathed on it. The figure opened its eyes like a baby, looking at the world with curiosity. Daddy, Mommy. The clay child jumped joyfully. It was lively and cute, letting out a silver bell laugh. Nua blushed a little. She never had an audience when creating humans before. The clay figures all just called her mother. I never thought the clay figure I made would actually call her mother and call me father. The clay figure ran around on the ground for a while. Only a few seconds passed before the breath I exhaled dissipated completely. The clay figure turned back into yellow earth. I became thoughtful. Has fellow Daoist Chen Wen understood? I nodded. Earlier, the one I shaped in my own image was a man. Afterwards, the one I shaped in Lady Nua's image was a woman. The breath I exhaled was a masculine breath, which could only give life to the female form. The breath Lady Nua exhaled was a feminine breath, which could only give life to the male form. This happens because yin and yang energies intermingle. And only then can life be born. If it were a male form plus a masculine breath, it would be doubly difficult. That's an excess of yang energy, which makes it impossible to bring the female form to life. And if it were a female form plus a feminine breath, that would be yin added to yin, an overabundance of yin energy. Life couldn't be created then either. Only when yin and yang merge, when yin energy and yang energy blend together, can a clay statue become human. Just now, that second clay statue I made got too much yang energy, so he was very lively, full of zip, and he used up the energy I gave him all at once. Nua nodded. She smiled and said, fellow Daoist Chen Wen truly understands quickly. This is indeed the most basic principle of creating humans, the union of yin and yang. Puzzled, I asked again, but in that case, doesn't it mean male gods can only create females? And female gods can only create males? Nua laughed. Fellow Daoist, stay calm. What we need to do now is figure out a way to make these little clay people live a bit longer. Only by constantly making clay figures can fellow Daoist Chen Wen discover the secrets within. I thought to myself, I gave this breath to the clay figure. But this breath can't stay in the clay figure forever. Once the energy dissipates, the clay figure dies. Lady Nua's meaning must be that she wants me to find a way to retain this breath, or even let the clay figure come to life on its own, without needing my breath.
But how?
Could I make the energy stay in the clay figure forever? I directly sensed my own body. The body operates on meridians. The body's energy and life force all circulate ceaselessly within the meridians. I switched my body to mortal mode to better explore its secrets. Saints no longer need to eat or excrete. Their bodies differ greatly from ordinary people. Using a saint's body as a template would definitely not reveal the secret. Assuming a mortal form, I experienced a long-lost feeling of hunger. I continued my inner vision. Within the meridians, energy and life force circulated non-stop. With every point it passed, life force was either added or lost. The places where it increased were mainly the respiratory and digestive systems, which absorb nutrients from the outside and convert them into life force. And the most significant loss was from two places, upper and lower. One was the brain, the other was the root of manhood. Nua watched me meditating in inner vision. She said enviously, fellow Daoist Chen Wen, you were born with the innate Tao body just like great god Pangu. Ah, the innate Tao body of a great god. I took so many detours creating humans. Fellow Taoist Chunwen only needs to observe his own body, and he can grasp its profound secrets. I'm getting a little jealous. It's inborn. Can't help it. I couldn't say I was just an ordinary person, a human descendant created by the great goddess Nuwa. I could only feign being an innate divine being. Fellow Taoist Nuwa, the lifespan of these clay figures, could it be related to the yin and yang energies? Among these clay figures, every single one has inherent yin energy that varies from the others. The breath I exhale each time also varies in its amount of yang energy. Sometimes the yang energy given to a figure is too little, sometimes it's overly abundant. These figures with unbalanced yin and yang energies survive the shortest time, while those with a relative balance of yin and yang, their lifespans become much longer. Nuwa nodded.
Exactly.
Too little energy, and the figure lacks vitality, parts of its body remaining just yellow mud. Too much energy, and the figure becomes hyperactive, quickly exhausting the energy inside its body. Only those with balanced yin and yang can live longer. Nuwa continued. Having an Yi Dao body sure is something. It truly makes things convenient. But even if yin and yang are balanced, there will still be depletion. Only when channels for yin and yang are formed inside the figure can the two energies endure longer. I nodded. I'd already noticed the role of meridians. But on second thought, it felt wrong. If that's the case, wouldn't creating humans get more and more complex? Meridians need to be created. What about internal organs? Blood vessels? Cells? DNA? Would we end up having to start from atoms? But Nua's creation wasn't this troublesome. She started with fine clay, and later directly whipped the mud with a vine. Mud flicked off landed on the ground, and turned into human shape on its own. Nua's method of creating humans got simpler, but teaching me was getting more complex. Fellow Taoist, at this rate, won't it just get more and more tedious? I've heard that your creation process wasn't this complicated. Nua smiled faintly. Fellow Taoists, do not be impatient. Before, I created humans using the self-growing soil. The self-growing soil can grow on its own. That's why it didn't require such precision. I just casually shaped the self-growing soil, and it could grow into a human form by itself. But this ordinary breathing? It can't make them grow human forms by itself. But this ordinary yellow mud cannot do that. I nodded. Although I did have some self-growing soil at hand, using it to create races for tens of thousands of worlds was clearly unrealistic. I had to start from the basics. Fellow Taoist, I am a male god. My energy contains yang. The breath I exhale can only bring those female figures with yin energy inside to life. How exactly can I make a man? If I introduce the yin energy between heaven and earth into the body of a male figure, can I then create a man? Fellow Taoist, have you considered why breathing is needed to make your figure move? If merely blending the yin and yang energies of heaven and earth could create a living being, then all over the universe, countless intelligent beings should have emerged long ago. I felt a bit lost upon hearing this. Between heaven and earth, yin and yang energies intertwine constantly. There are plenty of places where yin and yang are balanced. Life should be born everywhere on its own. However, living beings born from these two energies in the primordial land can't be said to be non-existent, but they are practically invisible. So, it was the breath I exhaled that granted the clay figure life. But since my breath is pure yang, I can only create women. Nua nodded, then shook her head. Yes and no. It is indeed your breath that animates the clay figure, but the principle behind it isn't that simple. Fellow Taoist, do not overreach. How to create life of the opposite gender touches upon the very essence of life creation. You have just begun to learn this art. Better to start with these basics? I nodded and turned, ready to knead clay again. Seeing the merit golden wheel behind me, I finally recalled the matter of merit. Right, Lady Nua. How should I retract this merit golden light? It's my first time receiving this much heavenly Tao merit. I don't know how to take it back in. I showed off that LED light tube-like merit golden wheel. Nua smiled. You didn't know? I thought you were purposely doing this, fellow Taoist. Displaying your merit golden wheel like that. Merit helps with cultivation. practicing divine arts. Your current state, Doa's friend, is actually perfect for learning to create humans. I suddenly realized it. No wonder my mind feels much sharper than usual. The techniques you taught me, I grasped them instantly. I thought I had a talent for creation, but it's actually the effect of merit. Nua continued, merit has many uses. You can experiment on your own to store merit away. It is actually quite simple. I'll teach you a mantra. Mystic yellow above, the mystic gate below, briefly in the furnace, in and out of the soul gate. I recited the mantra once and drew the merit into my body. The merit condensed, forming a merit dharma body. With a single thought, I released the dharma body. It matched my build and face, but its scale was vastly enlarged, tens of thousands of feet high. Holding a colossal heavenly tree, it looked like the origin tree of the East Pillar. However, it was also condensed from merit. The body was somewhat ethereal, not quite solid, looking like a puffy giant. Reciting the mantra, the merit dharma body was pulled back in, merging with my physical flesh. How does it feel, Dao's friend? This dharma body seems to have many wonders, and it seems to draw merit from the east. I established the Eastern Pillar. Eastern beings have received my grace. Naturally, merit flows in continuously, though not much. It's a steady stream. It's a good bargain. I opened the merit golden wheel again. Instantly, that flash of inspiration, that state of mental clarity reappeared. Taoist Nua. I feel this dharma body can condense further. Nua nodded. Correct. The next step is the merit golden body. However, I don't suggest you condense it, though with your merit, forming it would be easy. If you do, you will be restricted by merit. In this inspired state, I quickly understood her meaning. The dharma body is an illusion, a fake body, an empty shell. It's not with you. It isn't bound to you. You can leave at any time. But forming the golden body is an identity bind. Once bound, one must follow the heavenly Tao's rules. The peak of it is a merit saint. Nua is a merit saint, bound by merit. She must protect the humans. If the human race perishes, she falls with them. Because she has first-hand experience, she's stopping me from forming it. If it were the three pure ones or the West, and I wanted to form the golden body, they'd probably be laughing inside. They never reveal this secret. Thinking through this, I sincerely said, "Thank you, Nua." Nua nodded gently. She only had a good impression of me, so she gave the warning. I'm already a saint. I don't need the path of merit. Besides, though the golden body is bound, the impact on me isn't that great. At worst, I'd just discard all merit. Of course, the golden body has benefits. Immunity to all evil. Blessed with profound luck. Everything goes smoothly. Learning and cultivation are much faster, and sensing the heavenly Tao deepens. These mean little to a saint, but to anyone below that, it's enough to make them desperate. So the golden body became popular later. Many gods practiced it, but that's a later story, at least before the primordial world broke. In the era when Qi was substantial, basically no one practiced it. Taoist Nua. Can merit be used to create humans? You mean injecting merit into the clay figures? I've never actually tried that. You might as well try it. Nua was also eager to see. I made another clay figure in her image. From the merit dharma body, I drew a thread thinner than hair and injected it into the clay body. Then I blew a breath onto it. This time, the figure shone golden. Some minor flaws in its body were actively repaired by the merit. It was clearly much healthier. The golden clay figure opened its eyes, called Nua Mama as usual, and called me Papa. It hopped onto the ground, curiously exploring the new world. After walking a few dozen meters, it found a beautiful red fruit, emitting an inviting fragrance. The figure ate the fruit, growing significantly in an instant. The yin-yang qi within it grew stronger, but half the merit was spent. The figure jumped with joy. Half of it was gone, but it jumped happily. Yay, I grew taller. I got bigger. I was delighted inside. This one should live for a while, right? But things didn't go as I thought. The survival time was indeed longer, but not by much. Soon it died too. Only this time, it didn't turn back to dirt immediately. Its body kept the human form, until the qi and merit were gone. Then it turned back to yellow clay. Strange, it ate the fruit, had plenty of yin-yang qi, and only used half its merit. Why did it still die so fast? I frowned in frustration. It seems merit only gives them better luck, but doesn't play a decisive role. Merit cannot be a substitute material. Nua concluded. Seeing I hadn't found the key, she said, Doi's friend, why not attach your consciousness to it? Experience it yourself, and you'll see the problem. I nodded, created another clay figure, and attached my consciousness. I could feel. The clay body was yin by nature, receiving my breath of yang. Under the interaction of yin and yang, a force was generated. Like an engine, it moved the body, allowing it to jump and hop, speak and hear sounds. I moved my awareness to the head, but found it hollow inside. There was no consciousness at all. How could there be no consciousness? Without it, how did it come to life? Nua, why is there no consciousness? It's alive, yet has no mind. Could all its actions just be driven by yin and yang? Nua smiled and said, actually, the clay figure never came to life. Yin and yang drive its movement. What makes it act like a living being is the breath you gave it. That breath is more than just yang qi. There's still some vital energy left. There's still a part of your thought inside. Because you gave it some life force, it turned from clay into flesh and came to life. Because you gave it a thought, it can talk and move just like a real person. It suddenly made sense. So the clay figure could talk because of my own chaotic thoughts that spread into that breath. So basically, the clay figure called Nua mom and called me dad. That wasn't the clay figure's idea. It was my thought. That's why. When Nua heard the clay figure call her mom, she blushed. She didn't expect I'd have those thoughts about her. Everything the clay figure said came from my mind. The clay figure's thoughts are pretty much my own. I felt embarrassed. Good thing the clay figure didn't do anything outrageous, like something shocking. If the clay figure played basketball in overalls, how could I face the other sages? Nua, I get it now. The clay figure doesn't have a real consciousness. It's not really alive. Its earlier actions were just illusions from yin and yang. Since yin and yang can only produce life force to move the clay figure. So when you made people, how did you truly bring clay figures to life? How did you create a true spirit? Can a true spirit really be created? I looked puzzled. A true spirit is like a soul, but it's a bit different. The true spirit is the core part of the soul. The soul is just the outer layer of the true spirit. As for the yuan spirit, it's an energy body gained from cultivation. You can change or rebuild your yuan spirit, and a soul can grow or shrink. But the true spirit never changes. It's your unique identity. If your true spirit changes, you would stop existing. But as long as a bit of your true spirit remains, even if your body and soul are gone, you can still be reincarnated. Have you ever enlightened stones or plants? Nua frowned a little. She was surprised I didn't understand this. So she explained in a simpler way. Enlightenment basically means accelerating growth. Some great immortal finds a spiritual plant. It looks amazing. It can absorb the energy of sun and moon. Maybe it has a true spirit already, but no intelligence yet. So the immortal gives it a touch, and it instantly turns into a child. That's what enlightenment is. So you're saying I should learn from the process and feel how intelligence is born and grows. There was something vague, something whole, born before heaven and earth, silent and limitless, standing alone, never changing, circulating, never weary. The way created one. One created two, then three. And three gave birth to all. True spirit is like one. Intelligence is like two. The process is one becoming two. What Nua wants me to grasp is exactly this: one becomes two becomes three. Nua nodded. She floated over to Zhuanshan Fire Phoenix, then glanced back at me. Once you figure out how to create a true spirit, making people will be easy for you. See you around. Just come to my palace. If you have any trouble, you're welcome anytime. I bowed with respect. Farewell, Nua. To create a true spirit, I kept the idea of enlightenment in mind. I made sure to remember how to enlighten. After that, I stayed at South Pole Heavenly Pillar, experiencing how yin and yang blend. Time went by. Master, I failed you. I couldn't bring Nuding back. One day, Xuanwu arrived at the South Pole Heavenly Pillar and found me making people. I snapped out of my focus. What happened? Why won't Nuding return to me? I found Nuding at Zhuanming tribe. She fell in love with Zhuanming's son, Renfu, and refuses to leave. Did you tell her you're my disciple? Shanwo was frustrated. Master, I did. But Zhuanming's son, Renfu, didn't believe me. He even teamed up with the tribe's elders and drove me out. A smirk appeared on my lips. Interesting. Renfu is just a junior shaman, yet he dared to touch you. This must be Zhuanming's plan. Shanwo was shocked. Zhuanming, the ancestor shaman. Would he really dare go against you, master? No, he just wants to see me. How could I not know what Zhuanming's thinking? Then Zhuanwu showed me the 2 fire dragons from Zhurong. Zhuanming wants to find Zhurong, so he used this trick to lure me out. Why not just hold you captive? Even though Zhuanming is the strongest of the 12 shamans, he wouldn't dare mess with a true sage. Since Zhuanming wants to see me, then I'll go to Blackwater Valley. I leapt gently and landed on Xuanwo's back. You, my disciple, are from chaos itself. You've cultivated since heaven and earth began. Do you know of any spirits born purely from yang energy? Or from yin energy? Master, you mean King Dongwang and Queen Shiwang Mu? King Dongwang is chief among male gods, formed from pure innate yang. Queen Shiwang Mu leads the female gods, born from pure innate yin. If I want to make people, I must truly understand yin and yang. So they're the perfect examples. Where is King Dongwang now? Master, let me report. King Dongwang was made leader of the southern immortals by the Tao ancestor. He called all the immortals to Penglai Island, acted all arrogant, annoyed Emperor Taiyi, and was killed in chaos by Emperor Taiyi. So now, if we want King Dongwang, we have to wait for his next life as Emperor Donghe. But we can still go see Queen Shiwangmu, Jade Pool, Kunlun Mountain, and Bluebird. I've heard so much about them. Really, just a big reputation. Can you perform enlightenment spells? The art of enlightenment? It's a simple skill. Of course I know it. Shanwo spoke, blew out a breath, and turned a spiritual herb into a little girl. The girl was completely stunned. She stood blank for a bit, then bowed. Greetings, master. Greetings, sir. Shanwo opened his mouth and inhaled, taking the girl, made from the spiritual herb, and kept her in his shell. Since he enlightened the herb, they're now connected. He can't just leave her. Anyway, Zhuanwu is huge. Many beings live on his back. One more is nothing. Watching Zhuanwu enlighten, I learned it instantly. Enlightening is just using your power to help a spiritual being without intelligence grow, forcing knowledge into them, pouring power, wisdom, and experience, all at once into the spiritual being. It then gains cultivation, changing form right away. The true spirit gets knowledge, and intelligence awakens, so it can talk and interact. But since it's forced, after shapeshifting, it needs time to digest. That's why beings made this way are like their creator's children. They're closely linked, so great beings rarely enlighten new lives. Even though I know how to enlighten now, as for the true spirit, how it connects with knowledge and experience, and develops intelligence, I still have no clue. It's bothering me. Should I try to enlighten one myself? But I'm a sage. I shouldn't act lightly, or else I'll accidentally create a bunch of spirit children tied to me. Master, we're here. This is the Zhuanming tribe. I kept thinking the whole way. We arrived before I knew it's Zhuanming ancestors' domain. Greetings, sage. Greetings, sage. Zhuanming led the Zhuanming tribe and their vassals. They've been respectfully waiting a long time. His face is human, body is bird. He's got a green snake on each ear, and treads on 2 green snakes.
He is the Zhuanming ancestor.
He heard in the ancestor hall
That someone brought Zhurong's fire dragons and planned to take the empress away. The 9 ancestor shamans discussed and decided to lure the sage here so they could find Zhurong. Even if Zhurong is dead, his body must be retrieved. This action really gives me a lot of respect. I really appreciate it. No need to be so formal. Everyone, get up. May I know your holy name? Xuanming thought it was one of the 6 sages arriving. Didn't expect it to be a total stranger. He has sub-sage power. Of course, he can tell I'm the real deal. I am Chunwen Zhuanming, greeting you. Why did ancestor Zhuanming Drive my disciple, Xuan Turtle, out of your tribe, and bring me here. I'm here to question you. I've heard, Holy One. It's all because your disciple brought the fire dragon of Zhurong. We ancestor witches want to know where Zhurong is. That's why we did it this way. Please forgive us, sage. I still have plans for Zhurong. Zhurong is chosen as one of my representatives of earth, wind, water, and fire. If you want to know where Zhurong is, you need to promise me something. Let me call the shots. Please tell us. I want to learn how Nuwa created humans, but I've run into a few problems. Turns out, your witch clan can help me out. Xuan Ming was really torn. Zhurong is the key to the 12 ancestor witches' grand formation. Only joining all 12 ancestor witches' power can one summon Pangu's true form. But helping a sage isn't something you do easily. I'm afraid our clan can't really help. Sage Chen Wen. Ancestor Xuan Ming misunderstood. I'm not asking your clan to do work for me. I just want to study. Your clan's bodice. Study bodice? Once I said that, Xuan Ming had a wild look on his face. Is the sage going to use our bodice to forge artifacts? Seeing his reaction, I realized he misunderstood again, so I had to explain everything. Here's the truth, Sage Nuwa said. The most important part of creating humans is making a true spirit.
But
I just can't figure out how to make a true spirit. Your people are born without primordial spirits. Your true spirit fuses directly with the body. You're the perfect study subjects for me. Xuan Ming looked at me like he just saw a mad scientist. Is that so? Let me go back to the ancestor hall and discuss this with the others. I'm really interested in how your true spirits bond with your bodies. In this world, no matter if it's humans, demons, or ancient gods, everyone has a primordial spirit. All ancient gods have one. Only your witch clan lacks them. To me, your bodies are a treasure trove. If I figure out how your spirits fuse with your bodies, I can create even more races. In my plan, I also want to study ghosts, which are pure spirits, the demons' innate magic and shape-shifting, and the unique origins of the Asura, born from a sea of blood and wrath. Any unique race in this world is in my research plan. Of course, I could use my sage power to force things, but I'm not the kind to throw my weight around. Seeing Xuan Ming wants to back out, I upped the offer. If you ancestor Xuan Ming agree, I can guarantee I'll provide a path for your tribe to become sages. Xuan Ming turned around suddenly. Are you serious? I speak as a sage. How could it be fake? Anyway, I'll create countless worlds in the future. There will be a world where the rules fit your clan. When the time comes, I'll make your tribe the main characters there. That's the real plan. Too bad Xuan Ming can't guess it. Otherwise, he'd feel so scammed. Since the sage is willing to give us a path to become saints, our clan will obey you in the future. Alright, if that's the case, then I'll take Niu Ding as a registered disciple. How about that? Since this is the deal between Zhurong and the sage, Niu Ding should stay with the sage. Now that Xuan Ming is reassured, he gave the green light. He kept asking, Holy One, do you know where Zhurong is now? He was badly wounded before.
his strength took a big hit.
All he has left is his body. He was hiding in the South Sea earlier. But now I have no idea where he is. Actually, I already marked Zhurong's body, so I know exactly where he is. But since he's great material for my plans, I'm waiting for him to wear out, then I'll take him. Why would I easily tell Xuan Ming where his body is? If Zhurong isn't dead, why is he hiding? Xuan Ming was really confused. Zhurong's body's totally used up. Even if my body's like that, even if I step in, I'm afraid he can't be saved. I guess Zhurong is faking his death, so that when heaven attacks your clan,
He can sacrifice Pangu's blood.
and create a top witch master. Later, all 12 ancestor witches used this method, forcing upgrades with their own blood, letting 2 top witches join the grand formation. Qi, you did the same against the Yellow Emperor. I figure maybe in the real history, Zhurong didn't actually die. The ancestor blood used wasn't theirs, but Zhurong's. Otherwise, if Xuan Ming used his own blood, how could he later die together with Dongwen Tai in the Big Demon Tribe War? By force? After hearing what I said, Xuan Ming's eyes flashed with doubt. Sage Chunwen, You sure know a lot about my clan. Even our deepest secrets. I scratched my nose. A bit awkward. No way I could say I read it in a book before. When I stayed quiet, Xuanming didn't push for more. He cupped his fist in thanks. Thank you for telling me where Zhurong is, Sage Chunwen. I have to go to the South Sea and find him. Then a beautiful witch girl came up to me. She had a tiger nose and whiskers, a human face and body, and a tiger tail behind her. She carried a long whip and looked really cute and elegant. Her tiger features mixed perfectly with her human looks. It didn't seem weird at all. That tail is a dream for furry fans. A young witch man followed a few steps behind her.
Catching up.
Just like Xuanming. He had a human face, bird body, and black feathers. Wings grew from his back, and he looked just like Lei Zhenzi. His mouth wasn't like a human's, but a long hooked beak. Nu Ding greets the sage. Ren Fu greets the sage. This is Zhurong's daughter, Nu Ding, and her lover, Xuanming's son. Ren Fu and Nu Ding, I'll take you as named disciples. Are you willing? Nu Ding was thrilled. I'm willing. Thank you, teacher. Since Hongzheng gave his teachings, no sage has ever taken a witch as a disciple. The witch clan has no primordial spirit. They only train their bodies, which is too different from mainstream cultivation. Plus, all sages know our clan is doomed. Abandoned by heaven itself. None of the 6 sages ever took a witch disciple. But I just broke that rule. Gave all the Wu clan hope. Maybe I'm the savior of their tribe. The Birdman saw the girl accepted as a disciple. The whole bird folk started cawing excitedly. Their voices sound kind of like ducks. You're the Birdman. Looking at this black bird, I was honestly speechless. The girl is almost fully human, like 90%. This Birdman is barely 10% human. Yet they're actually in love. Is the Wu clan all about opposites attracting? The Wu clan folks I met in Kuofu tribe before. They're tall and big, but they all looked human. Pretty much giants. But after coming to this Xuanming tribe, everything I thought got turned upside down. I almost thought I'd wandered into a monster territory. I used to think only the Yao clan had crazy looks. Weird shapes everywhere. Turns out the Wu clan and Xuanming are just as wild. They come in all kinds of looks. I even saw a few Wu folk. They straight up look like monsters. Not a trace of human shape. Birdman, why do you guys in Xuanming tribe have so many humans around? Our Wu clan looks pretty similar to humans. When you say that, maybe check a mirror. We can even marry each other. But humans are weak. Yao clan often eats them. Our Wu clan doesn't have the heart to watch Yao slaughter humans. Yao clan is our big enemy. So we take in these humans and protect them from Yao attacks. Birdman explained. So humans can marry Wu clan? I opened my eyes wide, pointed at those monster-looking Wu folk. Can those Wu folks actually marry humans? Birdman pecked at his feathers with his beak and cawed. Those ones can't. Only normal Wu clan members can. So, your Xuanming tribe doesn't look normal either. I muttered in my head. Okay then. What about those Wu folk marrying normal ones? Could they have Wu kids? Birdman seemed a bit lost with my questions. Looked at me weirdly speechless. Gave me a strange look. Saying, it's possible. Can they marry each other then? Birdman stammered, they're all male. But what if some are male and some are female, but they look totally different? Birdman nervously scratched at the ground. Dug out a whole basement already. Saint, it's possible. I clapped my hands excitedly. Wow, so they're not reproductively isolated at all. So in summary, humans can only marry normal Wu clan. Wu clan members can't marry each other in tribe. How did these relationships form? What if it's like the girl, only part of her isn't human? Can she marry humans? Birdman looked totally shook. Saint, I honestly don't know. I know a lot about the tribe, but these questions of yours are seriously too tricky. I patted his birdie back. Keep it up, kid. As a son of Xuanming, you gotta know what's happening in your tribe, right? Here's your task. You go count up in Xuanming tribe, the families where humans and Wu clan are together, and actually have kids. What are their situations? Remember these family members' looks. Report back to me. If you do this well, I'll reward you with a treasure. Birdman was overjoyed. Don't worry, Saint. I'll get right to it. Saint, Should I include tribes near Zhuangming in my statistics too? The more you check, the better. Talking about human Wu marriages, I remember Qiyu from later times. Human Wu children, who become powerful Wu with spiritual souls. Strong bodies, can use Wu clan's secret arts and innate abilities, and train their spiritual soul. Use magic and treasures. If all human Wu kids end up like Qiyu, then marrying humans is the Wu clan's best bet. But since human Wu marriages started way back, they started during this time, why did it take until the Yellow Emperor's era for a big shot like Qiyu to appear? Later, Yingzheng and Baiki were also Le tribe descendants from human Wu marriages. So maybe the Wu clan hasn't realized how special these kids are yet. Looks like I gotta study this quietly. If the ancestors notice, it might change the course of the Wu Yao War. After Birdman left on his mission, I walked around Zhuangming tribe. Before I knew it, I arrived at the human settlement. Mouse, here's a wolf leg from the chief. Eat up, you'll need energy. Don't be like yesterday, when the bloodthirsty wolf smacked you away. A strong man tossed a half-cooked wolf leg to a proud lone young boy. The boy was totally naked, only covering himself with leaves. In the wild world, most humans didn't wear clothes. Those with clothes were called advisors. And the half-cooked wolf leg means this tribe can use fire. This is a turning point in human civilization. The Zhuangming tribe's humans can use fire. So the tribe must be made up of the Sui people. Members. I watched that kid named Mouse in secret. He's a child of Wu and human parents.
His mom is Wu clan. His dad is human.
After his Wu mom gave birth, she never came back to the human area. His dad was a tribe warrior, killed by a beast a few days ago. Mouse ended up an orphan. Tribe doesn't feed freeloaders. So he volunteered for the hunting squad. Luckily, he's got Wu clan blood. At 12, he's way taller than other kids, built almost like a grown man. Mouse took the wolf leg and bit in hard, chewed up even the bones, ate up all the marrow. The hunting squad warriors gathered up. The chief yelled loudly in the open yard. After Mouse finished eating the wolf leg, he grabbed his spear and stepped out of the hut. Quietly walked up behind his teammates. The strong man patted Mouse on the shoulder. Mouse, stick close to your uncle this time. I'll show you how to deal with wild beasts. Mouse nodded silently. Let's move out, the leader gave the order. Dozens of hunters left the tribe, entered the thick jungle. No dangerous beasts near the tribe. But the witch clan eats a lot. Almost all nearby animals are hunted out. So the humans have to hunt enough food. They need to risk going farther out. Leader, wild boar. A teammate spotted prey. Excited, 2 big, 3 small, 5 wild boars. They're not that strong. Roasted meat smells amazing. The leader was pleased. Keep quiet. Surround the wild boars. The strong man whispered to Mouse. Mouse, these boars have tough skin on their backs and tusks on their snouts. They love rolling in mud. Mud protects their soft bellies. When they see people, they charge fast. Heads down, charging straight in. Pretty dumb. Just dodge their charge. Attack under their jaws. That'll kill them quickly. Mouse nodded, focused on the biggest one. The wild boar is over 4 meters long, more than 2 meters tall. But in this land, that's rabbit-sized. Totally harmless. A sudden scream. What was that? It's a black claw leopard. It's a fierce beast, run! It's the same black claw leopard as last time. The leader looked worried. He changed direction, but ran into this roaming beast again. Don't run everywhere. Stay together. Everyone, move toward me. When facing speedy beasts like the black claw leopard, never scatter, or you'll just get singled out, picked off one by one. Best way is to scare it off with numbers. Even beasts won't risk attacking then. If they get hurt, they'll become targets for other beasts. But they just spread out to surround the boars. Team members are scattered. Can't regroup quickly. Mouse and the strong man are far away. Can't get there. The 5 spooked boars ran wild, separated them from the main group. Mouse has 7 or 8 people left nearby, looking for the pack. Mouse and 7 or 8 left nearby. Black claw leopard is over 4 meters tall, more than 10 meters long. All black fur, fangs like daggers, claws razor sharp. It killed one teammate, then quickly took down a few more. Hits every time. Its sharp teeth pierced unguarded necks. 7 or 8 rushed to join the main team, but the black claw leopard blocked the way. Fight it! A strong man raised a bone blade and charged. Was slapped aside. Everyone attack! The 7 left swung weapons at the black claw leopard. Leader, help them! Let's fight together. The leader yelled. Come on, let's go. Why? They're doomed. If we don't leave, who will protect our tribe later? The leader chose to stay strong, to avoid pointless deaths. The black claw leopard was toying with them. Didn't kill right away. Swatted at the hunter's weapons. Cutting it only scratches it. It struck left and right. Like a cat playing with prey, kept batting people away. A paw aimed at Mouse. Suddenly, an icy current spread from its paw into the leopard, froze its front paws instantly. Then its chest, head, body, and legs. Even the tail. The black claw leopard turned into an ice sculpture. Mouse collapsed too. Passed out. What happened? Mouse just froze the black claw leopard. The strong man rushed to check Mouse's breathing and heartbeat. He's still alive. Quick, pick him up. The leader brought the whole team over. What happened? It was Mouse. Mouse froze the black claw leopard. The leader stared at the ice statue, thinking deeply. This is a lot like the Witch Clan's magic. Pretty similar. You're closest to Mouse. Do you know? Mouse ever had ice powers? Shook his head holding Mouse. Leader, I have no idea. But I heard Mouse's mom. Leader, I don't know. But I heard Mouse's mother is from the Witch Clan. Maybe Mouse awakened their abilities. Let's head back and ask the chief. The chief will know. The leader nodded, told everyone to kill the black claw leopard. But it was already killed by the ice. The ice sculpture looked lifelike though. They avenged their fallen teammates. Felt a bit better. The leader took Mouse and the strong man back to the tribe. Went to the chief's longhouse. Toothless, what's going on? The chief was a stern-faced man. This person is a descendant. About 40 years old. Surviving to 40 here is a long life. Only those made by Nua herself, with divine clay and water. Anua's blood are the 3,000 original humans. They have long lives. Later humans made by Nua's whip. And all their descendants have short lives. Chief, our hunting team went out today. Ran into another fierce beast. It killed quite a few teammates. Just when it was dangerous, Mouse released an icy stream from his body. Used ice to defeat the beast. Ice Mouse? Could he have learned immortal arts? The chief was shocked. Immortal arts? Did someone powerful take Mouse as a disciple? The strong man was surprised too. The chief thought for a bit.
Not necessarily.
Maybe Mouse found some magical item. Or ate a spirit fruit. Too many possibilities. The strong man couldn't help speaking up. Chief, is it possible Mouse awakened Witch Clan power? Mouse's mother is from the Zhuangming tribe. The chief looked serious. Bring Mouse over. The chief knows immortal arts. Has magic power.
He placed his hand on Mouse and tried his magic.
Felt no trace of magic. Used his magic to scan Mouse's body again. Still nothing. No leftover spirit energy from fruit. Looks like you're right. Mouse has inherited power. Bloodline power. In his body. No sign of any magic. But his body is exhausted. He can barely take it. Strong man, chief. What's going on? Mouse used to be really healthy. I just gave him a whole wolf leg this morning. How could this be? That's the price for using his power. The Wu people's power comes from their bodies. The stronger their bodies, the more powerful their abilities. The leader continues. Little Mouse used his power, but his body is nowhere near strong enough to handle it. So that's why he's like this. Gap Tooth asks the leader, what should we do? We can't just watch Little Mouse die like this. Should we ask someone from the Zhuangming tribe to help him? They'll definitely have a way. The leader nods. I'll go ask Lu from Zhuangming tribe. He's their healer. He can definitely save Little Mouse. Chief Renfu, the Grand Wu is here. A huge man holding a shining axe walks in. He is the chief's guard. The chief is shocked. The Grand Wu is a top figure in the Wu tribe. Why would he come to a small human tribe territory? From the Wu tribe's point of view, humans are too weak. Not worth wasting time on. The chief quickly orders everyone to greet him. The Grand Wu walks out of the longhouse himself. Renfu, the man with a bird body and human head, is standing in the center clearing. Descendants of the Sui people bowed to Renfu. Grand Wu Renfu makes duck-like sounds. Quan, get all the human tribe families who married Wu tribe members and have them come to me. Chief Quan is confused, but doesn't dare ask. Soon a dozen nervous humans and a few Wu people come forward as families to Renfu. You're all human Wu. There aren't many who married across tribes. The chief called us out. Does this mean we're not allowed to marry humans? A Wu tribesman stands out to answer. Renfu says, that's not it. I'm just the young chief wanting to check how you're living. How are you doing with the humans? How's life among the humans? Thanks for your concern, young chief. We're doing pretty well, but we eat a lot. The human tribe doesn't have enough food, so we're a bit hungry sometimes. Renfu takes this chance to observe the tribespeople. Then he counts how many humans came over. Much more than Wu tribe. Is it just you who married humans? Why does so many humans come, while so few Wu people? Are you guys polygamous? Or is it polyandry? Everyone bursts out laughing. Young chief. A lot of Wu people who marry humans, because there's not enough human food, bring their human spouses back to Wu tribe. Some Wu tribesmen just separate from their human partners and go back to Wu tribe alone. Renfu's head aches. How am I supposed to count everyone in your tribe? Is it only these humans who've married Wu tribe? Anyone married across tribes, bring them all here. I need to get the facts, so I can decide what rules to set for human Wu marriages. Quan replied, Grand Wu. All humans who've married Wu tribe are here. Humans don't live long. Some who married Wu tribe have died. Some were killed by wild beasts. Others died of sudden illness. Renfu quacks. Do these families have kids? Bring their kids too. Xuan hesitates a bit. Renfu loses patience. Xuan, what are you afraid of? If I wanted to harm your human tribe, would I stand here and talk so much? Altogether, you're no match for even one of my fingers. So Xuan brings out the human Yu mixed kids. One is Quan's guard, the big man. Another is Little Mouse, held by Qi. Renfu sees and goes at Little Mouse. He flies to Qi, picks Little Mouse up with his beak, and hugs him with his wings, checking, this child has awakened our Zhuanming tribe's ice bloodline. And he's already used it once, but the kid's been malnourished for years. So using his power drained his body quick. Renfu gently touches him, sending pure body energy into Little Mouse. Little Mouse's body visibly fills up. Little Mouse's body visibly fills up. Renfu thinks to himself, is this why the sage sent me to investigate? Even human Wu kids can awaken. Wu tribe powers. Quan, what's going on with this kid? How did he awaken our Zhuanming tribe's bloodline gift? Are there others who've awakened bloodline powers? Wu tribe's bloodline gifts aren't common among tribe members. Most Wu people inherit the ancestors' bloodline, but very few ever awaken it. Didn't expect to find one among the human Wu kids. Quan replies, Grand Wu. Little Mouse awakened it fighting beasts during battle. No others have awakened it. Now, thanks to Renfu, Little Mouse wakes up. He sees a scary black monster and thinks he's been caught by a Zhuan-claw leopard. Frightened, he instinctively fires ice at Renfu. This attack is nothing to Renfu. At best, it feels a little cooler. Renfu simply tosses Little Mouse to the ground. Quacks, kid, you're pretty tough. Dared to attack me. Do you even know who I am? Quan panics, rushes to grab Little Mouse. Little Mouse, this is Grand Wu Renfu. How could you attack Grand Wu Renfu? He just saved you. Hurry up and apologize to Grand Wu Renfu. Little Mouse realizes he hit the wrong guy, but has no intention of apologizing. He just stands stubbornly. Quan explains, this kid's always been like this. Really stubborn. I'll apologize to Grand Wu Renfu for him. Please don't take it personally. Renfu laughs weirdly. I like this kid. He's got Wu tribe spirit. Renfu looks at the other human Wu kids. They all look completely human, with stronger bodies than humans, but weaker than Wu people. Can't really tell which tribe they're from. Renfu says to Quan, I want to take them back to Wu tribe, to see if they can awaken powers like this kid. Wu tribe powers. Quan, what do you think? These human Wu kids are the tribe's main fighters. Quan struggles to say, Grand Wu Renfu taking them back to Wu tribe is an honor for them. But if you do, our tribe loses strength. Renfu taps his beak. Quan, just stop going hunting for a while. So, for these days, you guys shouldn't go out hunting. I'll have my people share some food with you. Wait until I use the secret magic of the Wu tribe to awaken the power in their bloodlines. If they can't awaken it, I'll send them back. Using the Wu tribe's secret magic to unlock bloodline power. It's basically an adult ceremony for the Wu tribe. It also means recognizing these people as descendants. And as members of the Wu tribe, Quan reluctantly nodded in agreement. Even without these elite warriors, the human tribe could survive, but the casualties would be much higher. Plus, once they've accepted the Wu tribe's food, there will be a next time. And the time after that, Quan really doesn't know if starting this is good or bad. Renfu folded his wings and took everyone to the Zhuangming tribe. Greetings, sage. It's Renfu. So, is everything settled? I was just teaching Nu Ding how to control Nanming fire. This icy flame is incredibly destructive. If Nu Ding gets it too soon, he might not even be able to handle it. Sage. Renfu visited dozens of human tribe settlements nearby. The bigger ones hold tens of thousands of people. Small ones have less than 1,000. After thorough investigation, Renfu finally understood the sage's deeper intent. Renfu looked grateful. I was a bit speechless. You actually get my real intention. Even I haven't figured it out myself. How do humans and Wu tribe marry each other? So, what did you figure out? The sage asked me to study human Wu marriages, so I'd discover these promising kids scattered among the human tribe. Renfu waved his wings. Nearly 1,000 human Wu descendants appeared in front of me. Under the sage's pressure, these folks instinctively kneeled. Please look, sage. These people have not just the Wu tribe's physique, but also the human tribe's spiritual core. They're the Wu tribe's future. Renfu was so excited he danced around. All thanks to the sage's guidance. Without the sage, I never have noticed. These people actually have the strengths of both Wu and human tribes. They can practice both immortal cultivation and Wu tribe's body training. With these folks joining the Wu tribe, we can take the path of spiritual cultivation and gain an upper hand against the demon court. I was a bit surprised. Didn't expect Renfu to be so thorough. How did you spot they had spiritual cores? Renfu brought in Little Mouse. Please see, sage. Please see, sage. This kid has awakened the Wu tribe's bloodline power. Turns out Renfu sensed Little Mouse had the same ice power as himself, so he went to save him. Then found Little Mouse had not only inherited Wu tribe blood, but also possessed a spiritual core. After that, Renfu used the Wu tribe's ritual to bless the other human Wu descendants. He found all of them had spiritual cores without exception, except for one. Nearly 1,000 had it. So that means all human Wu descendants can't possess spiritual cores. Renfu discovered this secret. How could he not be wildly excited? Looking at the stubborn-faced boy in front of me, I noticed something hard to explain. Something mysterious about him, similar to Dao Fortune, but not exactly Dao Fortune. Using my powers as a sage, I examined him myself, and finally understood.
This boy
Has a tiny imperfection in his Heaven's Dao. Heaven's Dao is flawed in him, meaning he stands apart from the 3 realms, not within the 5 elements, not caught in fate. I couldn't help but sigh. If I hadn't sent Renfu to investigate human Wu marriages, Renfu wouldn't have found this boy. If the boy wasn't outside fate, able to mess with fate, even the sage couldn't foresee him, Renfu would never have discovered the benefits of human Wu descendants early. This boy totally changed history. It's Heaven's Dao missing something. A pure accident. Human tribe's big Wu should appear much later. Now, Little Mouse was discovered early, so maybe the big Wu will show up ahead of time. That's something Heaven's Dao won't allow. Heaven's Dao must be watching this change now. It will want to cut it off early. Earlier, using the 4 seasons pillar, I extended the lifespan of the world and changed the fate of Swan Turtle. That was a deal with Heaven's Dao. You extend my life? I let you change fate. But this time it's pure chance. I didn't make any deal with Heaven's Dao. The world is shifting and stormy. Intense pressure covered the entire Zhuangming tribe. Pressure from Heaven's Dao? I understood. Heaven's might. I got it. Heaven's Dao is telling me. As Heaven's sage, Heaven's Dao is giving me respect. This time, it's up to me to handle it. I sighed. I'm not afraid of heaven's Tao, but fighting it now isn't smart at all. I haven't even figured out how to create humans, much less open the heavens. My real task is to create countless worlds and endless races. It's a big responsibility. This time, heaven's Tao gave me respect and asked for help. I can't refuse heaven's Tao's face. I adjusted myself, looked at little mouse. You and I are fated. I wish to take you as my disciple. Will you accept? Little mouse totally had no idea what was happening. He grew up in a human tribe settlement. The strongest person he'd met was just the chief. Only today did he meet someone like Renfu. He didn't have any idea about sages. Renfu looked jealous and quickly reminded him to kneel and bow. Little mouse was confused, but the sage's pressure and authority felt real enough. He vaguely sensed this was a turning point in his fate. He didn't speak, just bowed deeply toward me. He didn't know how many bows to give. He had no idea. So he just kept bowing, banging his head hard, made loud thuds. He kept going non-stop. No idea how many times he bowed. A gentle force lifted him up, stopping him from banging his head any further. Little mouse didn't know what to do next. Looked at Renfu for help. Renfu had to remind him to call master. Little mouse turned to me, seriously said, "Greetings, master. From today on, you're my first disciple. I'll change your name to Han Li." A certain Lord Han felt something, tried to divine it, but fate was chaotic, had to give up. Little mouse didn't. Han Li felt blessed, bowed again to his master. Han Li thanked his master for the name. I nodded in satisfaction. As my disciple, I'll give you the Northern Zhuanyuan water banner. Zhuanming true water, mount and helper. Fuju Northern Zhuanyuan water. Fuju Northern Zhuanyuan water banner. These were formed from the leaves of the Genesis lotus. After the Genesis lotus gave birth to Pangyu, it couldn't bear the strain. It shattered and split. 5 lotus seeds emerged. They became 36 creation lotus flowers, 12 merit golden lotuses and 12 karma fire red lotuses, 12 world-destroying black lotuses, and 12 pure world white lotuses. The seed pod turned into the heaven and earth cauldron. The lotus scripture became the divine spear. Lotus petals became the river chart. And the Luo book, mountain river country map, and other innate treasures. The 5 lotus leaves, transformed into 5 innate flags. The Zhuanyuan water control flag is one of them. It channels the power of water veins. Its defense is incredibly strong. If all 5 flags are gathered, their defense rivals the greatest innate treasures. Zhuanming true water is the life water of Gonggong, ancestor of water. It embodies the Tao of water among the 5 elements. After merging with Earth Fiend Qi, it appears in the world. It abandons the softness and life-nurturing aspect of water. It only seeks ultimate attack and killing power. It can freeze 3,000 worlds and endless time. It's the most aggressive among divine waters. Gonggong was formed from Pangu's blood essence. His blood naturally carries the mark of water. He can command all waters. As his life water, Zhuanming true water, naturally rules over all waters.
He can control water with water.
It is supremely cold and yin. Even fire spaces can be frozen. The mount, Fuju, is a divine beast. It resembles a white deer with 4 horns. Gentle and pure. According to the classic of mountains and seas, Fuju lives alone. Pure and untouched. Its big feet absorb the essence of heaven, earth, sun, and moon. Over time, it becomes a crystal-clear divine beast. Normally, it hides among mountains and grass. It only appears on full moon nights. Its fur is snow white. Its hair is as clean as moonlight. As soon as I finish speaking, the 2 treasures and Fuju fly toward Han Li, north side. The water control flag turns into a navy blue robe on him. Zhuanming true water merges directly into his body. It vanishes without a trace. The 4-legged white deer. Fuju walks up to Han Li, affectionately rubs his chest with its neck. Han Li opens his arms, checks out his new clothes, and happily pets Fuju's neck. He kneels again, touches Fuju's neck, kneels and bows again. Han Li thanks master for the treasures. I nod with satisfaction. Black Tortoise and Nu Ding come forward together. Both put their hands together and bow 45 degrees. Black Tortoise greets senior brother. Nu Ding greets senior brother. Both are only name-registered disciples. But Han Li immediately became a formal disciple, a direct line of the sage. Black Tortoise has cultivated for countless ages, and now meets this young human who sits on his head. He feels a bit dissatisfied, but can only endure before the master. Niu Ding didn't think much about it. She's innocent and cheerful, just jealous of brother Han Li, envying such a beautiful mount like Fuju. Han Li receives a new name and treasures, but is still confused, not sure how to respond to his junior sister's gifts. He can only imitate, and puts his hands together and bows 45 degrees too. It looks like the three of them are doing a wedding bow. I have to help resolve it. Han Li, you don't know how to interact with people. Honest and pure by nature, just right for cultivation. You're really good. From now on, you'll always stay by my side. And keep training hard. Don't let down my hope for you. Han Li thanks again. Now he knows what to do. Immediately kneels and bows. The four disciples are harmonious. Only Renfu, the birdman, curses inwardly. He could accept Niu Ding as a name-registered disciple. But this half-Wu tribe he mentored actually became a sage's disciple too. Among the Wu tribe, many have awakened abilities. Why did the sage insist on taking him as a disciple? Renfu sage, I sent him a message directly. Renfu is startled. You need to make a heavenly Dao oath, not to reveal to any beings. About the human Wu offspring with Yuan Shen after marriage. Renfu says in his heart. But sage? Isn't this a great thing for the Wu tribe? Sage, you said you would teach us how to become sages. Isn't what you're teaching about marrying humans and Wu tribe? No more questions needed. This is my order. Renfu can only accept without questioning. This is my order. Renfu makes the heavenly Dao oath in his heart, with a wave of my hand. All the descendants present are sent back to their tribes, forgetting they ever met the sage. With everything done, the calamity clouds vanish instantly. The stormy Zhuangming tribe is calm again. Heaven is satisfied, but I feel a bit lost. It was such a small matter. Just Zhuangming's child. Discovering the human Wu offspring had Yuan Shen early. For the emergence of a great Wu of humanity, it's not that easy. Even if a few show up early, it won't change the outcome of the Great War. The big fate can't change. Small things can be reversed. Heaven doesn't allow human Wu to appear early. Maybe there's a bigger heavenly Dao issue here, not just a reversible small thing. Looks like the human Wu descendants may hide some heavenly Dao secret. That's the only way to explain why heaven is so sensitive. Since heaven planted a hidden move in these offspring, if I don't find it, I'd just be working for heaven for nothing. Heaven actually makes me a heavenly Dao sage. Work for it. I have a temper too. Han Li's issue is heaven's own loophole, since it accidentally leaked it to me. If I don't do something about it, it'd really hurt my pride. I've made up my mind. I keep questioning Renfu. Renfu, the task I gave you, how's it going? Did you get the stats? What's the situation of families of humans and Wu tribes marrying each other? Renfu, the whole bird, feels a bit dejected. Sage, I haven't finished the stats yet. Humans are too weak. After marrying with Wu tribe, many humans died unexpectedly. Some were taken back to the Zhuangming tribe. And on the Wu tribe's side, Wu tribe members only acted on impulse. After marrying humans, they went back to their tribe right away. It's just too complicated. I didn't finish the stats this time at all. Sage may need to get more people to work on it. Speechless. Didn't expect the ancient Wu clan and humans to be this open-minded. They just go their separate ways after they're done. Well, in that case, you don't have to tally up everything just yet. Tell me about the families you've already counted. What's their situation? Renfu thought for a moment. Most Wu clans who can intermarry with humans are in Pangu's Dao body, the human form. Among 31 families, their Wu clan isn't a Pangu Dao body. They're beast-shaped instead. Of the 243 families, part of the Wu clan's body is beast-shaped, but mostly human-shaped. I nodded. Looks like Renfu was wrong before. Non-human-shaped Wu clans can also mate with humans, so they're not completely reproductively isolated. And those 243 half-human, half-beast Wu clans can breed with humans, which actually makes sense. Like Niu Ding, a beast-tailed girl. She actually fits the human aesthetic pretty well. With Renfu's info, I started thinking, humans are Pandu bodies. They have both clear and murky parts. Clear ones are primordial spirit, and murky is the physical body. Wu clans come from Pangu's physical body. Only murky, no spirit, since clans without primordial spirits can have kids. And Wu clans can have children with humans who do have one. That means primordial spirit isn't needed to create life. So is having a physical body required to create life? Shuangui, you were born from chaos. Do you know if there are beings in this world who can have kids just from their spirit without any body? Let me think about it, master. Shuangui pondered deeply. Renfu's bird eyes suddenly spun sneakily. Sages, sages. I know this one. Go ahead, Renfu. Sage, please block the heavenly fate. Otherwise, I can't say. I waved my hand and used the Taiji diagram to shut off the whole Zhuanming tribe. Sage, isn't that the Pangyu Father God? The three pure saints born from his primordial spirit? As soon as Renfu said that, Shuangui realized it too. That's right, master. Aren't you asking about Pangu, whose primordial spirit created the Taiking God? Then Taiking Laojun and Yuking Yuanxi Tianzun. And Shangqing Tongshen? I'm just speechless. What, you two strategists want me to drag the three pure ones over and research how they were born? Just picturing myself asking the three pure ones about how they were born gives me chills. I'd put on a stern face. Ridiculous. Of course I know. The three pure sages are Pangu's primordial spirit. I'm asking you, are there any other beings born from someone else's spirit? All the immortals, Rinfu, Zhuangui, and Nu Ding bowed their heads, thinking hard. As for Han Li, just ignore him. He doesn't even get what we're talking about. I searched my past life memories and got inspired from somewhere unexpected. Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy wasn't born from a primordial spirit, but he controls dreams. Thinking about dreams from the primordial spirit. Creatures born in dreams also don't need a body. If I could find a dream-born spirit beast or immortal, that would show a physical body isn't necessary for life. Then I thought of Brahma in Indian myth. The whole world is just Brahma's dream. When he wakes, the world vanishes. He sleeps again, and the world starts over. If the world is a dream, then why wouldn't dream beings be alive too? Of course they're living. In this ancient world, are there any spirit beasts or immortals who can control dreams? Shangui let out a sigh of relief. Master, there's Dreamwood. It lives on dreams. Looks like an elephant-nosed, rhino-eyed creature with an ox tail and tiger feet. It's found in southern valleys. Then there's Three Danger in Shuangmu's land. There's a beast on the mountain, called Aoyan, shaped like a cow, all white, with 4 horns. It eats people, but also feeds on dreams. There's also Shen Nu King. The goddess of dreams. She has a human face and snake body, serves as a moondream monster, manages marriages, and she's a creation of Nuwa. Now the snake she holds is teaching humans in the world. I'm a bit let down. Dream Mo and Aoyan aren't any big shots. Only Shen Nu King, Nuwa's green snake, has some real status. Maybe there's someone else? Dream Gods, Master. I'm from Chaos, but I can't know all ancient secrets. Master, if you really want to know about these hidden things, you should ask the Yao Saint Bai Zi. My heart skipped a beat. Bai Zi looks like we're destined to meet. Demon Court. Bai Zi was silent, feeling uneasy, trying to figure out why, but couldn't calculate anything. Oh well, if that's how it is, Shangui, go get Mengmo and Aoyan for me, so I can study them. As for Shen Nu King, I have to give Nuwa some respect. I'll wait until I meet Nuwa. Then ask her to call Shen Nu King over. Yes, master. Shangui left again. I sighed. The path to creating life is no joke. But thinking about it, I'm already on a unique path. Nuwa's idea is still stuck on the material level. Clay and divine water all material. But my idea is way ahead of hers. After making people from matter comes creating from spirit. That's the path of energy-based creation. Dream creation. And next, creation from a single thought. Then after that, creation from the void. Words shape reality. If you can create people from the void, you can create things from the void. And after that, creation from the void itself. Even the Tao can't do that. I looked at Zhuangui who just left. then at the confused Niu Ding, and at Han Li, who looked a bit clueless. Plus the sneaky bird. What kind of team is this anyway? Not even one person can keep up with me. Looks like I need a smarter helper to test these ideas. At least someone with wits. If I study by myself, it'll take so long. It might as well be never. Right now. I haven't even mastered Nua's way of making people yet. Renfu, your mother. Ancestor Zhuanming agreed to let me study your clan's true spirit and how it merges with the body. You're a Wu clan chief, so you should understand how your clan's spirit merges with the body. You must know it well. Any suggestions? Where should I start, really? The bird guy Renfu was still preening. When he heard me, he quickly replied, "If sages need to study this, I'm just a chief. How could I have any advice? But I've heard how too the ancestral witch has always been searching for a path for the Wu tribe to achieve sainthood. She experimented with a lot of different methods. Maybe, while How Tu was studying the Wu tribe's physical bodies, she also researched their true spirits. Sages can actually communicate with How Tu." I slapped my thigh hard. How could I forget about How Tu? How Tu is a semi-saint who became the 6 paths of reincarnation. She gained merit from establishing the 6 paths. Her merit is way higher than the 6 merit saints. If only the Wu tribe had primordial spirits, Heaven's will would have already made How Tu a saint on par with the other 6. But at this point, the Wu Yao catastrophe isn't over yet. How Tu hasn't turned into the 6 paths of reincarnation. Where is How Tu now? I have no idea. How Tu might be at the How Tu tribe. Or maybe traveling around the wilderness. I nodded. I didn't use divination to track How Tu. All the great powers of the wilderness can sense things related to themselves. Unless they're enemies or friends, you don't investigate others. That's just the unspoken social rule. I'm not in a hurry. Since Zhuanming agreed, that means the Wu tribe's on my side. They're definitely going to invite the other ancestral witches here. Since How Tu can't be seen right now, I'll just do my own research first. I squinted. I glanced at Renfu with bad intentions. Hey, Renfu, you're the elder of Zhuanming, right? Since your mom agreed to let me study the Wu tribe, how about you be my subject? Renfu's whole bird body shook. Sage, you want to study me? You don't want to be my subject. As soon as I released my sane pressure, Renfu was crushed instantly. Master, why study Renfu? He's so dumb. Nothing interesting to study. You should study me instead. Nuding was a bit unhappy. I'm also from the Wu tribe, and I'm your registered disciple. You don't even want to study me? Nuding has no concept of research. In her simple view, studying is just like her curiosity about cute little beasts. A kind of fondness and a closeness. Like seeing how many legs they have. Do they have claws? If their feet are soft, stuff like that. So for her, study means the same thing. It's totally a good thing. Seeing her volunteer, I'm speechless. I don't have any particularly weird interest in Shaowaning. But with you acting all cute and coming to me, are you just asking me to pull your feathers a bit? Everyone wants to be studied. Everyone wants to be researched. Nuding. Go teach your senior some basic wilderness knowledge, so he doesn't act clueless. After I study Renfu, I'll look into you. Nuding pouted and took Han Li away. I raised my hand and pulled Renfu in front of me. He instinctively felt I'm up to no good. His whole bird body was shaking. Don't be nervous. Just relax. I'm only studying you a bit. It's not like I'm gonna hurt you. Not nervous, not tense. I'm not nervous. If you're scared, I can just knock you out first. No need, Sage. I'll do it myself. Renfu really didn't want to know what I'd do to him. Renfu really didn't want to know what I planned for him.
He just knocked himself out.
I smacked my lips. Was that necessary? I'm just gonna check the Wu tribe's body structure and the way true spirits and bodies merge. Is that really so scary? First time, I don't need Renfu to cooperate. Just start from basic physical structure. Biggest feature of birds is feathers and wings. I pulled out a long, shiny black feather, looking at how each feather connects to the shaft. I suddenly had a thought. That's no different than human hair. It's just that hair grows on skin, while bird feathers grow from the shaft or from the flesh. Feathers are just like hair. So what about scales? If feathers and hair are just different forms from the same bloodline, wouldn't scales be the same too? I checked Renfu's bird beak and found some keratin there. Looking closely, that's basically fingernails. That feeling was getting clearer. I opened my divine sight and scanned Renfu's whole body. His head bones looked human, just with the jaw protruding. Shoulder blades connect his arms, but the spine has wing bones growing from it underneath. The chest bone and bird legs with reverse joints. The whole skeleton looks just like a mix of human and bird shapes. But his organs and nerves and blood vessels are way closer to human physiology. So basically, Renfu just looks like a bird-shaped human. Feathers and human hair come from the same bloodline. Bird claws keratin matches fingernails. His physiology matches humans over 50%. Too bad, there's no way to study genes in this wild world. If there was, maybe we'd discover something major, since feathers and human hair share the same origin. That strange change on Renfu's body. Could it be just different expressions of the same bloodline? If I can prove this, it shows that although the Zhuanming tribe's witches look different, their bloodline is actually the same. And if the witches can marry humans, that means their bloodlines can merge. I keep thinking deeper. If the witch tribes all have the same bloodline, why are there Keofu giants and birdmen like Renfu? Plus, each witch ancestor tribe has a unique power. Dejiang controls space, Gumang is wood, Zhurong is fire, Rushu is metal, Gonggong is water, Zhuanming is ice, Haotu is earth, Qiangliang is thunder, Zhuyin governs time, Tianhuo is wind, Zizi is electricity, Shibishi is poison. Studying just Renfu isn't enough. We need more specimens to compare. I wave and take a piece of flesh from Renfu's body. I heal him and wake him up. Sage, are you done studying me? Renfu nervously checks himself. He sees he's not missing any limbs. Just had a feather plucked. He looks odd. Being a birdman, he naturally cares about his feathers. Sage, if you wanted a feather, you could have told me early. Why pretend you needed to research me? That's it for today's study. Are you going to pluck more feathers next time? Renfu blurts out. What feather plucking? Stop saying weird stuff. Go call my apprentice over. Renfu reluctantly goes to find Ending. He secretly whispers, Sis, the sage is definitely interested in your tail. He just plucked one of my feathers. My voice appears directly in Renfu's mind. Renfu forgot. Whenever someone mentions the sage senses it right away.
He's startled.
And immediately shuts up. He only signals Niu Ding with his bird eyes. Niu Ding doesn't understand. Instead, she gets happy. Master likes my tail. I feel happy too. Master likes my tail. I like my tail too. My tail is really fun. It feels nice to touch. People here are pure-minded, not filthy like later generations. Renfu says I like his tail. But Niu Ding is happy about it. Master, apprentice, here. Niu Ding hops over to me. Her tiger whiskers twitch. Her tail swings. Let apprentice be researched by master. Are you happy? Of course. If master wants to study me, it means master likes me. How could I not be happy? All right, I'll do a few simple tests. Apprentice, show me your natural Zhurong fire. Innate power is like a body instinct, like breathing. No need to think about it. Just focus, and flames burst out from your body, hot like a tiny sun. Apprentice, really pay attention. Where does your fire come from? It's your clan's main power. No need to control it. But if you learn the mechanism, master how to use it, and you'll be much better at it. That's knowing the what, and also the why. Once the witch's bloodline power awakens, strength comes naturally. Only depends on how pure your bloodline is. Because it's instinct. Witches never thought. Their power can be trained and controlled. Controlling it is stronger than just using instinct. You'll find more ways to use it. If you always rely on instinct, your power never improves. Niu Ding nods hard. She closes her eyes and feels it. Do you feel it? Where does the fire come from in your body? Niu Ding tries again and again, starts and stops her power. She searches seriously. It might be this place, or maybe that one. Master, I feel like my whole body can use it. Focus carefully. I feel like my whole body can use it, but really pay attention. That's just your illusion. Your power comes out too fast. Fire shows up all over your body, but it has a process, a sequence. It doesn't just pop out of nowhere. If it did, it wouldn't be your innate power, but a spell used by cultivators. Apprentice, slow down. Hold back your instincts. And use your will to control it. Make it come out slowly, and adjust its strength and size. Suppress your instinct, and use your will. New Ding follows my guidance and tries slowly. Master, I can't use my power anymore. I can't activate it. New Ding looks upset. It's like walking normally. Then someone says you're walking wrong. And when you try it their way, you can't even walk. This method works. But you'll hit this problem at first. I can't help but laugh and feel mischievous. Good apprentice. You finished my first test. I act serious on purpose. New Ding is confused. Master's first test? That's right. The first test is for you to forget your power. And forget your instinct. Forget my instinct? Is that right? Think about it. Now you've even forgotten your natural power. Isn't that a really advanced state? It's your body's instinct. New Ding thinks about it, and feels Master makes sense. Even if something feels off, if Master says so, it must be right. Master is amazing. So quickly made New Ding forget her innate power. New Ding claps happily. Now for the second test. Just repeat whatever I say. Okay. That's fun. Let's start now. Master, you say, look, you got it wrong from the start. Just repeat what I say. Do you get it? New Ding suddenly gets it. Master, do it again. Do it again, let's start now. Let's start now. Eat grapes, but don't spit out the skin. Eat grapes, but don't spit out the skin. You got it wrong again. Master, how did I mess up? I didn't say it wrong. You did. You have to follow me. Say, you got it wrong. New Ding looks like she suddenly gets it again. Oh, this one too. Got it. I'm sure now. This apprentice isn't that smart. That's it for today's tests. Practice more after you go back. Once you can control your instincts and your innate power, instead of being driven by instinct, come find me again. So the master left, seeming a bit lost, still caught up in the game just now, frustrated for making 2 mistakes. After first studying the Witch Clan bloodline, I got really interested in how the bloodline is triggered. He had a few thousand Witch Clan people provided for me as research material, wearing armor and scales. Some looked bizarre, and some were massive, every kind you can think of. After researching, I found that most Witch Clan bloodlines were exactly the same, just like Renfu's. Renfu's bloodline came from the Zhuangming clan, the purest Zhuangming bloodline. He might look like a Dao person, but his bloodline matches all the Witch Clan with human forms, totally identical. But those odd-looking Witch Clan, many have completely mutated bloodlines. They differ a lot from Renfu's, but not all bizarre Witch Clan are mutants. Some just look strange, and lots of those odd bloodlines are actually identical to Renfu's. That's what's unique about the Witch Clan bloodline. Same bloodline, but the offspring can end up totally different. Is this why they say dragons give birth to 9 sons? Each one unique. But the dragon had kids with different creatures. The Witch Clan marry within their own tribe, yet their offspring vary so much. As for those mutated bloodlines, they can still mix with the original bloodlines. They can still marry and have kids, and their kids aren't affected by the mutation. The bloodline stays pure Zhuangming tribe Witch Clan. This makes Witch Clan bloodlines really ramp up my urge to research. I really want to figure out the reason behind it. This research revealed 2 topics to me, or 2 major features of the Witch Clan bloodline. Why do Witch Clan offspring look different when there's no bloodline mutation? Second, why do Witch Clan with mutated bloodlines still breed with normal Witch Clan, but their kids don't inherit the mutation? The research so far all used observation or survey data to draw conclusions. But to go deeper into these 2 questions, I'd have to do human experiments, like biopsies, which is a sensitive subject. Even though I'm a sage, I can't just do whatever I want here. If I anger everyone with my current power, I can't just run wild. For the first feature, I thought about the 12 ancestor witches, all transformed from Pangu's blood, theoretically same bloodline, but each one looks totally different. All sorts of bizarre shapes. Almost none are human-like. Even their powers are nothing alike. Maybe this bloodline feature really originates from the 12 ancestor witches, inheriting their unique forms. So, to get to the bottom of it, I have to start with the 12 ancestors. But all of them are proud and stubborn. They barely care about sages. I thought if they won't cooperate, maybe I can take advantage of the witch-demon war and collect their blood after they fall for research. Later, when Qiu revived the 12 Do Tian formation, he refined Ancestor Hu Yi's blood and made powerful witches. Maybe I could refine regular witch clan blood as a substitute for the second feature. I thought about dominant and recessive traits. The mutated bloodlines show up like recessive ones. When recessive and dominant bloodlines mix, the offspring show the dominant trait. But after so many generations of intermarrying, the pure dominant bloodline should have long been mixed with recessive bloodlines. Polluted bloodlines mixing means dominant and recessive combine. So there's a 50% chance for recessive kids. Wait, there must be something I'm missing here. Definitely some problem I haven't considered. The recessive bloodline idea is close, but there are still factors I haven't worked in. I sighed. Guess I just need more samples. These two problems are stuck for now. I'll leave them for later. But previously, Heaven made me clean things up, and I discovered Heaven left hidden tricks in the character's descendants. Heaven cares a lot about this setup. Even asked me to handle it myself. I'm actually super curious about that hidden trick. I pulled out a hair, blew on it, and it became a clone, wearing pure white robes, with a big yin-yang taiji symbol on the back, a red cloud belt on the waist, white flowing shoes on the feet, and holding a whisk, hair tied in a Taoist bun. The clone activated all its power, about as strong as a junior great golden immortal. I nodded in satisfaction. The treasure I was going to give, I kept instead. With that cultivation, unless a sage steps in, even if faced with a quasi-sage, I could still escape. That's the terrifying sage level in Heaven's way. Even a single hair has great golden immortal strength. Actually, if a sage lost a piece of dust, a mortal eating, it could instantly become immortal. But sages don't have flesh bodies. They stay perfectly clean. Forget dust. Not even a hair would fall. The clone bowed to my real body. I nodded back gently and turned back to study witch clan bloodlines. Han Li, I want to go check out the human tribe. Take me to your tribe. Han Li was meditating and absorbing spiritual energy, opened his eyes and saw the clone lost in thought. The clone flicked its whisk in style, trying to look like a true immortal, and guessed why he seemed confused. You don't know where your tribe is? And talked with Chief Quan, and planned them near the tribe? The clone thought for a moment. He instantly knew where the tribe was, even though their singing is just yelling. That's Mouse. But haven't you noticed? This tribe isn't very big. About 700 or 800 meters across. Huge logs over 10 meters tall were used to make a fence, like a giant wall. Of course, this height in the wild just keeps out small beasts. Quan had everyone copy him. Inside the fence, there are more than 100 houses made from branches, big tree leaves and mud, scattered around messily. Only one house in the center stands over 10 meters tall, about 30 meters long and wide. That's the chief's hall. Against floods and earthquakes, just that people walking often eventually trampled out mud paths. It's evening. Did a little sapling ever grow there? All for the immortal. 3 bonfires are already lit on the empty ground by the longhouse. The clone watched and listened quietly. One looks like a yellow ox. Its head has 3 eyes. Another is as fierce as a mastiff. This time it's just a small pond. They could only wander between heaven and earth. It's a tribal celebration. Han Li's eyes light up. He almost drools. He just became a disciple not long ago. They made the witch-slaying sword. Never eaten rare gourmet food. He still craves normal human food. No marks left at all. Looks like your tribe's celebrating something. Everyone thanked at once. In no time, the demon clan fought the witches. Han Li was swept up, turning into a flying bird. After honoring the ancestors, without roots, the tree can't survive. Though he wore a fancy dark blue robe, his temperament hasn't changed. Anyone who knows him recognizes him right away. Trying to touch the clone's clothes, How-To became a saint instantly. A snotty little kid ran off completely naked. The clone sized up these people. Most are women and children. The avatar was confused. Only a handful of young men left. Almost all are disabled. They grow on the trees. They are the ancestors of mankind. Mouse is back. A few kids stretched out their muddy hands curiously. They've never seen such clean and fine animal pelts. The clone didn't stop them. Little hands landed on the white robe and slid off right away. Little hands landed on the white robe and slid off right away. The clone also looks interested. Human development hasn't gone far. Soon, Chief Quan came with 3 men in animal skins and brought some elderly with ancient faces. These old folks are the tribe's leaders. Most humans have witch blood in them. Tonight, everyone gets to eat meat. And they came before the avatar. They all bow to the immortals. All salute respectfully. He's just a small tribal chief. He can't tell immortals from saints. Happy times don't last. This chief named Quan even has a bit of merit on him. As for Han Li, the other 3 elders also have basic Dao cultivation. One is about to reach the level of virtualization. This is how humans stand in the wilderness, and countless wild creatures. Yet the most skilled hasn't even reached virtualization. In the wild, they're not even ants. At the end of the witch-demon war, I came down because I sensed fate linked by milk. And hasn't spread yet, because not many being taught. You want to enlighten us, immortal? We immortals, you want to teach us? With great resolve, she turned herself into the 6 paths of reincarnation. An elder who seemed knowledgeable, wobbled and bowed. Thank you, immortal, for a caring. 100-meter or even 1,000-meter beasts are the real threat. We came at the perfect time. Seeing the shaman bowing like this, the clone flicked his whisk. Countless vengeful spirits. Quan happily clapped. Help develop language and intelligence. Bring out all the firewood. All have mastered some simple magic. Set up more bonfires. Bring out the 5 uncles fruit pig. Lean-tailed chicken. Only the elderly, women, and children stay in the tribe. What I want is, tribal folk are as excited as New Year's. They all ran back home, dragging along their families, bringing all the food to the longhouse. And planting skills. Adults hauling meat, elders bringing fruits. Disabled men set up bonfires and racks, hung up giant wild beasts. Their true spirits had nowhere to go, feeling how primitive yet fierce the ancestors acted. Filled with wild, raw energy, the tribe hasn't built roads, fighting against nature and icy snow. How the fruits and trees in the mountains grow. Humans are already pretty smart. Some wore animal skins. Over 5,000 years, the ancestors of the Hua people, billions or even tens of billions died. Looking at this scene, a sense of national mission rises in me. If I do nothing for these forebears, and only care about my research, music and dance are great tools to teach the tribe. The sun quickly drops below the horizon, showing reverence and curiosity. Those out hunting and gathering return to the tribe. The celebration officially began. The whole tribe became wild and noisy. I couldn't accept that. Like a dance of demons, told the tribe. Go get everyone here. Music's rhythm and tone. Dance encourages teamwork. Even helps people hunt together. The immortal is totally right. If the roots get damaged, some tribesperson recognized Han Li. Become the god of music and dance. Snow deer and the treasured book. I'll arrange for tribe members to dig up fruit trees. He waved his big hand. To teach more practical survival skills. And dancing is just wild hopping. It doesn't dampen their joy at all. As they danced, the clone looked closely. They're roasting some wild animals. How To's creation of the 6 paths of reincarnation far surpassed the 6 saints. With a faint smile, not the slightest intention to interrupt. Tonight's a true party. Roughly has cultivation at the key transforming stage. Thinking intently, he already ate a whole pig and a deer. Now he's grabbing a roasted beast leg, munching happily and awakened. After his Wu bloodline powers showed up, he changed his approach. Ate a lot, doing unspeakable things. Still doesn't feel full. The celebration ended after a night. Quan invited the clone to stay in the chief's house. As a hare, the clone didn't need rest. The avatar looked around at the messy feast scene. Not my stage. While he himself thought deeply. Many tribal folks gathered around, thinking intently. Food, clothing, shelter, and travel are the basics. But seeing how tough things are for the human tribe now, getting stronger can't wait either. I am Chun Wen, a cultivator from Mount Wagwo. Where should I start teaching the tribe? I still remember. He hasn't tasted dragon liver or phoenix marrow. They are my steady ancestors, and bowed to them.
Then,
The land was full of restless souls. Back then, the Tao of Heaven wasn't complete. The clone watched the lively scene. With short limbs. Yes, immortal, we'll follow your teachings. Zhu Haotu had a kind heart. That's awesome. She couldn't bear this tragedy. She completed the last link in the Tao of Heaven. I'll go tell the chief. Heaven granted immeasurable merit. But she didn't have a Yuan Shen, a small tribe with over 1,000. Lots of young couples slipped off to hidden spots. So she couldn't fuse with the Tao. Though she didn't truly become a saint, she extended the luck of the witch clan, giving them a thread of hope. After that, witch clan and human merged into one. Also shamans. But how can you throw celestial fruit seeds if you just yank up the fruit tree? So Han Li stayed. The tribe slept soundly, satisfied. His eyes were solemn. Too brutal. The witch-slaying sword made humans so weak that demons saw them as food, even hunted them, or used them to make magic items. Right now, solving food and shelter isn't top priority. What's urgent is solving survival. Though after the witch-demon war, humans officially step onto the stage, becoming the main character of the world. Chun Wen, Saint of Heaven, will never allow the witch-slaying sword to appear. The Avatar watched as tribe members disappeared into the woods. Quan asked carefully. He remembered the witch-demon war. And for humans to become world's lead. So brutal, even Haotu couldn't bear to watch. Couldn't stand to hear about it either. So brutal that Haotu realized and created reincarnation. But things are different now. Since I came to the wild world, scenes like this. Tao of Heaven created a Yuan Shen for Haotu as compensation. But the price is huge for the billions of humans. After the celebration, the next day, tribe members came one by one. On the second day, tribe members began hunting early in the morning. Adult men split into teams, heading in different directions toward the forest. The strong women stay in safer areas nearby, and catching small animals along the way. Quan, does your tribe still mainly rely on hunting and gathering? Half the human race perished in the wilds. You don't know where your tribe is? It's always been like this. If we don't hunt and gather, where do we get food? Quan found that a bit odd. Was last night's meal also gathered? Wasn't it grown? What does grown mean? The Avatar was speechless. Looks like Quan's tribe doesn't know about planting yet. Even though they're descendants, feels like touching slippery jelly. And no great teachers to guide them yet. Compared to dragons, phoenixes, killins, and demons. The witches lived for ages but still ate raw and bloody food. The ancestors cut through thorns. They discovered fire use, learned to make clothes, and built houses. In a breath, they arrived. Against beasts never safe. Some women wrapped leaves around key areas. So where do trees come from? Trees grow from the ground. Few elderly. He's become a big eater. Quan, think about this. After eating fruit, you tossed the seed on the ground, waited some days. Those gone out haven't returned yet. Quan looked puzzled. By the age of the end of the law. If you break them, the kernels inside are super tasty. Really fragrant. The Avatar understood. Food is so scarce for the tribe. They crack open big fruit seeds to eat the kernels. And small seeds like pomegranate or pepper. No one pays attention to them. And why haven't you ever thought to dig up fruit-bearing plants? Han Li nodded lightly. Quan suddenly got it. Yeah, if we dig up fruit trees, our tribe wouldn't need to search for fruit everywhere. We could just wait for them to grow and pick the fruit right off. If I taught them singing and dancing now, no need to chase after this merit. Hold up, how are you going to dig them up? The Avatar was experienced. Teaching ancient humans means treating them like they don't know any basics. Ancient humans were like clueless babies, so you have to teach them from scratch. Just yank the fruit tree up and stick it in the dirt? Just for the demon clan's witch-slaying sword. That won't work. Trees all have roots. But I'm already a saint. After a night of celebration, you'll hurt the roots. Maybe I'd earn merit from heaven. Transplanted trees probably won't live. They won't grow fruit, and may wither outright. So what should we do? The Avatar flicked his whisk. All right then. Go call all the elders and witches of the tribe. Today I'll teach you the ways to transplant. Kids carrying firewood. Transplanting technique. Planting technique. This must be an immortal's great spell. I'll get the elders and witches gathered right away. Soon. Kwan brought several dozen elderly, all excited. But that's normal. Like eager children, they looked at the true form longingly. I'm teaching you how to transplant fruit trees and how to plumb them. You all have to pay attention to key points I'm explaining. Past transplanting and planting skills. To every tribe member. And slaughtered over half of the human race. Have your tribe teach other tribes? Got it? When living beings died, the avatar patiently explained, breaking down every step for transplanting fruit trees. Soon heavenly merit descended. Tribe members exclaimed in surprise. It's a reward from heaven for the immortal. And arrived at the time of the great witch demon disaster. I've only seen once before in my youth, in a big tribe. Thank you, immortal, for teaching us. Thank you for passing transplanting to us humans. The avatar nodded with satisfaction. Not much merit this time. Here to teach. The tribe and I are connected. Plus, transplanting just ups gathering efficiency, not the actual yield. If heavenly merit is an ocean, with tangled teeth and one is as plump as a silkworm, since I taught you how to transplant fruit trees, I'll teach you planting skills in full. Dozens of elders felt renewed and sincerely bowed. Immortal, please accept our gratitude. Gather all tribe members. Planting skills are the great way.